All right, and we're back for part two. Took a quick intermission, ate a peanut butter sandwich, which is like, it's actually one of the good parts of the preparation for the ceremony. All meat gets cut out, and I'm like, fuck, I don't know what I'm going to eat then. Well, now I'm eating fucking foods that are not meat, and it almost feels like it's just a constant cheat day, you know?
Yeah.
But then it's weird too, you know? And, I mean, you were just saying downstairs that you're kind of reaching the point where when you don't eat meat in preparation for ceremony, you're actually feeling a little better, huh?
I am. I have to have protein. I have enough muscle on my body to where like, I don't give a fuck how much broccoli I eat. I don't feel good.
Right.
And so then I started just eating after going to a few ceremonies and seeing what the people who have done it before are eating.
Yeah.
I realized that I enjoy a lot of the stuff. I just didn't know that. Like, for instance, hard-boiled eggs. I started feeling anytime I needed protein, like I would want meat or a protein shake or just feeling like that, like, fuck it, I'll just eat a hard-boiled egg or two. And so that was helping quite a bit. Avocados was helping, and I eat a shit ton of nuts. But the problem is that most of the nuts that we buy at the store have been pasteurized, and those aren't actually good for us. You just need raw fucking nuts, and they don't taste delicious at all.
So when you say nuts are pasteurized, they're heated up like same process as milk?
Well, like you'll see, like for instance, almonds. It's really hard to find unpasteurized almonds.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what does that mean? Roasted?
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
thought pasteurized was boiled.
Yeah, they do something like they do.
They definitely roast them.
Yeah, they roast them, but it's not that. It's pasteurization.
All right.
I don't know.
I'm
not a fucking,
shit.
yeah.
You're not a nut expert?
I'm not a nut
expert. See, Foulke kind of is a nut expert.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. My mom does all that.
Okay.
I don't think roasting is it. I think
Okay.
pasteurization is like an actual process.
I thought it meant it was like a fancy way of saying the milk has been boiled to kill all bacteria.
It's something like that. But then when it kills all the bacteria, just like us pasteurizing milk,
it kills all the bad,
it kills all the
bacteria.
good probiotics in it too. And so then you're
Stuff you
lactose
want in your
intolerant and can't fucking use the enzymes to break it all down. So what I've noticed is that I can get by without meat. However, I do still love meat. But then also with this lifestyle that I'm living, I've thought, and due to some podcasts and some people that I follow, I have had kind of this new, I don't even know what to call it. I feel bad just killing animals just to eat the animal. And so I have like 70 meat chickens at my house, and I have to cull them. They're to put in my freezer for the year. And most people are going to be like, what the fuck, bro? And the thing is, I've done it. I've gone through this process, and as I learn, I realize that there's certain things that don't make sense. And for instance, I was going to bring up, if the apocalypse happened and we all have to get together and live in a village, and we have 20 chickens, a few goats, a few cows, it would be really stupid of us to just slaughter a cow. Okay?
Yeah.
It would be really stupid of us to just start killing our chickens and eat for a night or two or a few weeks when it takes quite a bit of time to get this thing to lay eggs. I've noticed something with the plants and the animals at my house, that when I treat them not as livestock and I treat them as another species in
Like family, just
another
like people,
entity.
People treat their dogs like they're part of the family.
Yeah, just like that.
Bro, when we were in Afghanistan, the Afghans bring their goats in the house at night. You know what I mean? It's not like...
And are they just killing their fucking goat every day?
No.
Exactly.
I mean, they do when it's time to eat.
But that was like a big deal. Remember when we would
time,
slaughter
though?
a goat? It was like a once a month kind of...
Okay.
It's like a festival, right?
But aren't they kind of like... Okay. I mean, that makes sense. They have to fucking eat. The goat isn't... In that particular case, the goat isn't giving them enough for it not... They're going to get more out of the slaughter of the goat than they are by keeping it alive, right? And that's what I'm saying. When that happens...
And who's to say that the Afghan model is the one that we should be following?
Yeah, exactly.
They also cook the goat over human feces.
Yeah, okay. So, in my opinion, unless the animal... Like, if one of my chickens dies and it's still good out there, well, don't just let it rot. Fucking pluck it and eat it. But I no longer feel like I should just go out and raise livestock
just to kill.
And for a long time, it was like, well, that's just how it is. The hunting, the whatever. And it's like, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. For myself, living the life that I want to live, it doesn't really make that much sense for me.
So you think the main protein source in some type of like apocalyptic scenario is eggs?
And milk.
And milk.
Guess. Yeah.
Either goat milk or dairy milk. A2 dairy
Because
milk.
eggs are a fucking like almost a perfect nutrient dense food that has like a good combination of all of these different things that you need. And it's weird to me that people demonize eggs.
Dude, and a duck egg is even more, even though people don't like the taste, depending on what duck you are, some of them, like mine, I couldn't even tell the difference.
I've had duck eggs.
Well,
I can't tell the difference. They're just gigantic.
But they're also twice as much protein, twice as much minerals out of one egg. And I think, okay, an egg lasts a long time if you don't wash the bloom or whatever it's called off the outside.
It's such a weird concept. The
Right?
first time I heard that, because what is it? If you just take the egg out of the hen house or whatever the fuck it
nesting
is,
box,
and you just set it on a counter somewhere, it lasts for what, 2 months or something?
something like that. And then you can preserve it for longer ways.
But if you wash it, then it goes bad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, not right away. It'll still last longer than one that you got from the grocery store, but it goes bad a lot faster.
Okay.
But then even like in this particular case, let's say that we are out in the woods and we have somewhere to go. Then we're not going to be back for a few days. What happens if we can't hunt food? If we hunt everything on the property, it won't take very long before there's no animals for us to hunt unless we actually excursion farther and shit.
And then you're carrying. And bro, let me tell you, because I killed my first deer last fall, and you know where how far I had to carry it?
How far?
From the ground to the back of a fucking side by side.
Yeah.
It's fucking heavy,
Okay.
bro.
And the thing is think about if we didn't have a side by side.
That's what I'm saying.
And so that's unreasonable. We're humans. We're supposed to thrive. So instead of
There's a bunch of dudes listening that are like Cam Haines motherfuckers that carry their elk 10 miles. Like, that dude's a fucking bitch.
yeah, well, hey, we're to each their own.
Yeah, of course.
This
I
is
know.
my journey, right? To me is like, well, we're supposed to thrive. And if we're fucking packing out shit 10 miles a day, sitting in a stand for hours and hours and hours, we are not doing what humans are supposed to be doing. We are doing what birds and squirrels and fucking tigers and lions are doing, looking to get their next kill so that they don't die of starvation. Okay?
Yeah.
So instead of us doing that, this new thing is like, okay, well, I can still eat meat, just not whenever I want. It's whenever Mother Nature tells me that I can feast on the fucking meat. I get eggs every single day. Everyone has water that they can find around, and everyone should know how to make fire.
Mm-hmm.
Put the fucking egg in the bowl of water over the fire, and now you have a protein snack in your egg that doesn't break. I mean, if it does fall out of your pocket and break, well, eat it.
Everyone can make fire except for Daniel. Did I tell you that story?
No.
And you all know I love Daniel, but this is just the truth, so I can share it on the podcast. Because we're cleaning the property up, right? I want that gym to be state of the art. I want it to be the nicest facility this summer.
Okay.
I want every square inch of that property to be manicured, lawned. It's going to look sharp, right?
Yep.
So I said, Dan, all this wood has to get out of here. All right. You've been collecting wood for a long time. And so it's time to sell it off. And anything you don't sell off, like, let's start burning it.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, I don't know how to make a fire, bro. What? And I said, come on, dude. And he goes, no, listen, man. You know I'm like an ape, dude. Fire scares me. I don't do that shit. I was like, bro, one more little anomaly about Dan.
Oh my
It's
God.
like, if that dude puts his hands on you, you will die.
Oh, yes, you will.
You will die.
Yep. Yep.
His jujitsu is as good as it gets.
Yep. So
But-
he'd probably just say, hey, look, you make me the fire. If
Or
you
I'll
don't,
strangle-
I'll fucking kill
I'll
you.
strangle you.
Yeah.
I love that, dude. But yeah, going off on a fucking tangent there. But the fucking, I tell you, man, I've talked about a lot on the show wanting to do like a challenge like Naked and Afraid.
Yep.
And it doesn't have to be fucking on the Discovery Channel, but what I want to feel, and dude, I watched an episode last night in bed because I felt like dog shit, and laid in bed and watched TV for an hour or two. And this girl got a fucking bird after being in the African savannah for like 18 days or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
And she killed it and started crying, right?
Yep.
And it was like a dove. And I was like, dude, I want to feel that grateful for a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's ever, nobody in our society has felt that grateful for a fucking meal, right?
Mm-hmm.
But check this out, dude. Then her partner left her. The fucking dude left a chick out in the African savannah. He's like, this is too much for me. I'm out of here.
Oh my God,
and
what a
here's,
bitch.
And here's the thing, bro. I haven't done it.
I know.
But I think I would rather die than leave a woman out there.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like take survival out of it. You're going to leave a woman out there. And it's because rhinos and lions were around their boma. And he's like, I'm out of here. Like, so you're leaving,
So
you leave a woman out there, right?
Like, dude, at least fucking jump over her and die for her.
Oh,
man.
speaking of that, Stacy, the girl that did my show with Naked and Afraid, she wants to do a 3-way with me and you.
Oh, shit.
Is this,
And we're talking podcasts.
okay.
But check this out. So this girl in this episode I was watching last night, this dude leaves her. She goes out and checks her bird snare in the morning. There's another dove stuck in it. And she's like, she picks this dove up and she starts crying. And she goes, I'm so lonely from being out here alone. I need a friend more than I need food.
Damn.
And so I'm going to let you go because I want to see you thrive too. And bro, it's like,
Wow.
yeah, sure. It's just some fucking, no, it's a dumb show on Discovery Channel, but
Yeah.
it's still tapping into real emotions by putting people into these fucking crazy challenges.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being starving to death, but you're so lonely that a dove gives you the amount of this feeling of love? So now you have to choose. What do I need right now? Do I need the feel of love? Because, dude, your animals can give you the connection of love. My fucking dog sits on my fucking chest every night before I go to bed and nuzzles in and like licks my neck.
Yeah.
There's a fucking connection that you can share with an animal.
With everything.
Yeah.
Even
And
the
so,
water.
This lady, she's starving to death. And she's like, I need to choose friendship or food. And I choose friendship. It's fucking crazy, dude.
Dude, it is. It is. And that's why I truly feel the more that I understand this, that everything's connected. This is why I keep coming back to this fucking stupid, well, I shouldn't say stupid, Avatar movie, which is for like, I don't know. I didn't ever watch it and I've watched it and it's like, dude, this makes total sense. And I have.
Did James Cameron just do a bunch of ayahuasca in the jungle?
He had to.
Is that what happened?
He had to have. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
He's a fucking whack job though, right?
I don't know.
I'm sure.
I've never seen the movie and I've never seen an interview.
All I know is that I watched the movies and it's like, this is what I learned. And that now I have some of these books and some of these podcasts and some of the things that I've shared with you where I can find real names of real people who have been essentially killed because of things that they found out a long time ago. And it just proves that everything is connected. Every single thing, like the crystals in my water, right? It seems woo-woo, but it's provable. Like I said, freeze it and look at it.
Bro,
So-
there was like this phenomenon. There was like Avatar depression when Avatar first came out.
Okay.
Because people would watch that and they'd fucking get so drawn in and so immersed. And it's like, something about this feels fucking right. Like that's how I want to live, right?
And that is it.
And then they'd go from watching Avatar and getting that feeling to riveting airplanes in the morning.
100%.
And
Yep.
fucking depression would set in,
Absolutely.
bro. Avatar
Absolutely.
depression, dude.
And through the healing medicine that I've taken, through this journey that I've taken, I realized that everything is connected and it is scientifically proven if you want to go the science route. There is certain things where it's like logically or statistically this doesn't make sense. But then this goes back into the part where I went with Talon, where, okay, then let's just be silly and see if it fucking works for ourselves, right?
But bro, like, here's the thing though, like science and energy, or like science and the ability to have a soulful connection or whatever. Why do a lot of cultures think those things have to be mutually exclusive?
I don't know.
Like Eastern medicine and Western medicine. Why do they have to be mutually exclusive? Like if I fucking get in a head-on collision with a semi and it severs my fucking leg, I want to get flown to Harborview and I want to have a fucking orthopedic surgeon put me back together.
Yep.
Cool, right? There's a place for it. But just because it works sometimes doesn't mean that has to be the go-to all the time. It's weird. It's almost like that with everything. It's you're on this team or you're on that team, you know? And the truth is probably somewhere in the middle will serve you best, dude.
Yeah.
I think like also, you know, quantum physics and quantum mechanics are starting to prove a lot of the more they discover about quantum mechanics and entanglement, the more it sounds a lot like God.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like the manifest, if you can manifest something to be just by thinking about it, going back to what we were talking about in the first half with the book, The Secret, then that kind of is quantum theory.
Yeah.
Like the cat in the box, Schrodinger's famous cat, it's alive and dead until you open the box and look. But what if you, before you open the box, give some intention and then open the box?
Yeah.
Wait, what is this one? I don't know that.
So the famous description of quantum mechanics is this physicist, his last name is Schrodinger, and he has his famous example. If I put a cat in the box or in a box and you can't see it, and I tell you my cat is in the box, is it alive or is it dead? You have to pick one. But the answer is it's neither and it's both until you open the box and look, because you don't know. And so it's the idea that consciousness creates reality rather than reality gave rise to consciousness.
Yeah.
It's the opposite version of it, or the opposite. We all sort of, I guess we don't all accept it anymore. We certainly don't. But the going theory is that our brain and our nervous system somehow allow us to be conscious, but we can't explain why. But I think a lot of us feel, and most people, even people who believe that, feel like consciousness isn't related to our physical body. And so then the opposing theory is that consciousness created the universe. There was no Big Bang. The consciousness, there's a collective consciousness, and it's our observation of the universe that creates it.
100%.
Which gives us power over our reality.
Well,
so
and
you can look at that box and say, I want that cat to be alive. And then when you open the box, the cat will be alive because you thought to yourself, I want it to be alive.
And I shouldn't even say this because I'm going to completely butcher it, but it goes back to that documentary I talked about in part 1 called Heal, right? Mm-hmm. And he talks about like the quantum physics of the universe. And in that, he says, like, again, if you want to look at it from a scientific standpoint or put fucking data and numbers, he's like, everything is connected. Every last particle came from the same origin at some point. Mm-hmm. And that's like another thing that is kind of universally agreed on. And so that's why the entire universe does feel some type of connectivity.
Yeah. And the more I connect, for me personally, is just, I feel less, it hurts me more to kill my animals. And I feel less,
because you're killing a piece of you.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It really is, and it gives to me, and I give to it, and we have a relationship, and we have connection. And even though we don't speak English together, I don't need to speak English. We have telepathy, we have energy. Right?
They've proved that trees have some form of consciousness where they communicate through the mycelium network. And if a tree that drops a seed and that seed grows into another tree, and then that tree becomes damaged. Mm-hmm. The mother tree that dropped the seed knows it and will send nutrients out of its root system through the mycelium network to that damaged tree.
At her own demise, too. Mm-hmm. Like pull energy from her and send it to the sapling.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, okay, well, my chicken...
Which tells you that probably everything alive in the universe shares in this consciousness.
Bro,
which is the Avatar shit. That's what it's all about.
Okay, I haven't seen the movie.
And that's why it's like, okay, well, my chicken gives me egg every day. We still have connection. We live, I give, she gives. My goat is going to give milk, and we can make butter and cheeses or whatever. Everything on the thing, the rabbits give me fresh compost or manure, all of the things. And I realize when I keep it like this, it regenerates. It just goes and goes and goes. And when one goes out, new ones come in. And it's like, this makes way more sense. And I guess it's just different than what I was taught growing up.
And bro, like the farther down these fucking rabbit holes that I go, and it's probably just a natural progression of aging too. Because when you're 20, you don't respect life. And you start to hold a higher and higher value on it, I feel like, the older you get.
I also think the last 2.5, 3 years have made us all really question what we were taught.
Yes, of course. And so, but like when we bought our property, and for those of you listening, Toby, who's on right now, is my partner out there. Dude, I got to make a road. So I fucking break out the chainsaw and cut down 100 trees to make a road. And bro, I'm telling you, I thought that guy was a badass. He's a fucking bitch, right? That's someone will be screaming in their car. Something about cutting down 100 trees in the morning, it didn't feel good.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I went home and fucking cried about it, but it was just like, man, there was like this luscious fucking forest, and I just fucking pulled a whole strip of it out.
Cut a stripe out of it.
Yeah, and there's just something about it. And I'm not, again, it's not like I'm depressed about it. But there was something that just felt, and it's the exact same thing, bro. When you watch one of those National Geographic documentaries of the Amazon rainforest getting fucking clear cut, and you see those giant machines just mowing down acres and acres and acres of forest, when you watch that, something feels off.
It does.
But the other side of it is I'm sitting in a house that's built of wood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm not sitting here saying what's right or what's wrong or what we should do or what we shouldn't do. I'm just saying when you see deforestation on a massive level, there's something inside you that's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What if you only take what you need or you give back more than you take? If you cut a tree down, the tree comes with fucking billion pine cones. Okay. When you cut the tree down, all you got to do is take 2 and plant them. If they grow, they grow. There's 2 more. If they don't, they don't. Give thanks. I have something that happened to me yesterday and the day before, and it's exactly this. Okay. I had a farmer. I told you downstairs. I had him come over and he wanted to use his chainsaw and cut some trees down. Okay. And I was like, okay, well, I don't have any trees that I want to cut down. And he's like, well, we need it. Don't you want to plant here or something?
Who is this guy? Give a little bit, or is it top secret shit?
It's just a guy I know.
Okay.
I met him from a farm.
Roger that.
And he wants to.
We'll talk.
He's been cool. This isn't his fault. Like, it's not that. It's that he was going to cut some trees down and make a little clearing for some more area for me to put an orchard or garden or whatever I want to put. Okay, I showed him what trees to cut down. And they're just some fucking maple vines and some other little small alders. And then I was going to clear out an area with I have a badass weed whacker that just mows shit down. And I was going to clear out another area. So I look over and he has chopped 3 trees in a row like he's going to do dominoes. This isn't an arborist, okay? This is just a guy. It's like, okay, whatever. But I already kind of felt not good about cutting the trees down.
Mm-hmm.
He ends up cutting them all down. And then Vanessa comes out and tells me no more. She's inside like freaking out. She's super connected to nature. And she's like, those are my trees on my house. He is not supposed to be here cutting these trees. Like, she just didn't like it at all. Well, the problem is that there was another tree that I didn't want cut down, but he had already cut halfway and his chainsaw was stuck in it that I didn't know. And I was like, you can't just leave a fucking half-cut tree back here. My children walk around, I walk around, like, we have to get it down. And this was one of the living trees. And it was like a big tree. Yeah. And he goes to cut it and it gets stuck. And then it fell and it fell on the other tree and it didn't fall down. And it's like a big ass tree. And I'm like, motherfucker, because I know what that consists. Now it's sketchy as fuck. Yeah. And Vanessa.
Bro, that shit's fucking dangerous.
Dude. Yeah. Yes. And Vanessa comes out and she's like, what the fuck? No more. You're done. This is to the guy. And she's like, this is my land and those are my trees. And you're cutting down trees that aren't supposed to be cut down. Oh, shit. She's freaking out there. Yeah. And then I'm like, hey.
Bro. Vanessa has a lot of ownership in that place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she does.
That's great, dude.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the fire.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm like, look. She's like, I can't believe that you didn't do anything. And I was like,
she's mad at you.
Yeah, I'm the man. My friend, the
protector.
She's like, you're more
didn't protect her trees.
100%. And she's like, Tyler, you're more connected to any of it and you didn't care. I said, no. I showed him what trees to cut down. And then he cut down other ones, but I think they were dead. And so it was like, okay, but I didn't know that big tree. I told him specifically not that big tree. Yeah. And she's like, and then right after, so he left. I had to go. What did we do yesterday? I don't know. Anyways, yesterday morning, I wake up and I'm like, okay, I have to go get the tree down because it's dangerous. Like, I don't trust it at all. It's like 120 feet tall. Holy it's probably fucking this big around.
That's outside of my wheelhouse, bro.
And it's already cut down and it's just hanging on the limbs of another tree. And if the wind blows, like,
it's a gnarly widow.
Dude, I had a gut. Like, and the thing is, I'm not an arborist either.
No, bro.
I don't feel comfortable doing this.
And here's the thing: you try, and this has happened to me out on the property with small trees that are like maybe 12-inch diameter.
Yeah.
once they get caught up in branches of another tree,
Now you don't know if they're going to slide.
yeah,
crack,
the
or what they're
fucking
gonna do.
back of it will slide back towards you and then kick up into the air like a bunch of fucked up shit, dude.
Yes.
And I've jumped out of the way of even little ones.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, dude, I can see how if you're fucking operating in that realm, it's not if, it's when.
No, yeah.
They're going to fuck you up from time to time.
So I tell Vanessa, because she's like, you're not going out there. I go, no, I have to get it down. I have to. I do not feel comfortable with us being here, going outside, especially with all the animals and shit. I have to do it. And she's like, okay. So I went and got straps and it come along and fucking, I did it immediately. It took me a long time. It was hard as fuck. It scared me. I had to cut like 10-foot chunks and it kept dropping down and it would get more straight up every time.
Yeah.
Like even with the come along, it wasn't falling over. Every time it would drop and get more straight up. And I'm like, dude, now I don't know what way it's going to fall.
Yeah.
And so fucking finally, I prayed. I said, please just, I know I fucked up. I'm so sorry.
Because you think the motherfucker's out for vengeance.
Yes. Dude, listen.
Yeah.
As soon as Vanessa comes out and she's like,
and also, you did have your house crushed by a fucking tree, what, 4 months ago?
yeah.
So, I mean, that's fresh. And she lost her car, too.
Yes, smashed
Her
to the ground.
Forerunner. And the thing is, if anyone was in that car, they'd be fucking dead.
Oh, fuck yeah, they did.
It was gnarly.
It was not. They smashed it to the ground. So as soon as it lands, I'm not kidding you guys, hail starts pounding at my house. I probably had 5 inches of hail at my house.
Holy shit.
Okay, my mom and my aunt that just got back from the cruise were with my grandma who just flew back up here from Arizona because my uncle died. And it was a military service at the Little White Church on the hill in Savannah. Okay. I'm like, man, they're all outside because it's right down the hill from my house.
Yeah.
Just getting pelted.
Nope. Nothing.
Nope. They got done. They came up and they go, what the fuck's up with the house? I go, what? She's like, Tyler, I went to go turn up the hill and it's like snow this deep. I go, you weren't getting hailed on at the bottom of the hill? She goes, no, not at all. And I was like,
So the story you told on the last podcast
that's two now.
of the sky opening up for you, this time the sky closed in and fucked you.
And Vanessa, she reamed me last night. She's like, you know that's because of it. You know, I know. You know damn well you were supposed to say something to Steven and say, no more. This is my land and my trees, and those ones don't need to be cut down. I have 10 acres. Why does that need to be cut down? And I was like, it's just more reassurance of like, okay, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right.
And guess what? Fucking A, what's done is done.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
That's it. And now a lesson learned.
Now grow a bunch of mushrooms in that tree.
I will.
You
I
know,
will.
fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Make Paul Stamets proud, dude.
Yeah.
That's what he says. You cut a tree down in the forest, you have to leave it there.
Okay.
Because then the forest does what the forest does.
Yeah.
You know? But again, it goes back to what I said. Like, well, if you want your fireplace to heat your house.
Well, hang on, because you have needs, food, water, shelter, safety that have to be met. So if you're cutting down a tree to frame a house, then it's the same as killing an animal to eat it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that what is it? What was the purpose for?
Yeah.
This one didn't need to be cut down. This was just shooting a deer to shoot a deer.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. No, I get it.
And then I paid for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I get it.
One thing I wanted to touch on, I mean, I guess we're kind of combining episode 1 and episode 2 because we talked about the FBI a little bit.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to, a point that I wanted to make on that before we just passed it is that, like, I want people to know, like, obviously there's a lot of good people inside of the professional law enforcement, right? But don't be fooled that it's like America's best and brightest, dude.
Oh, I know.
Like there are some of America's best and brightest that are inside of that profession. But bro, when I was a federal agent, like I remember it like yesterday, I was in this case and the head case agent has to be the person that sits through the whole trial with the prosecution, right? And this head case agent, special agent from the FBI was like 5'6", 300-pound female that looked like the Michelin Man.
Yeah.
They're just fucking waddling in. I'm special agent, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, what the fuck?
This is
Everybody's like, what the fuck is this, dude? You're special agent? And I think I've talked about this on the show before, but her whole case was riding on the fact that they did a phone tap and that she listened to this guy and she got him. listen, this is an admission of guilt. We got him. He said this. He said that. He said this. Yeah. We got him. And then the fucking defense gets up there and they get to examine her as a witness, you know? And he's like, you know, you got all these things that are saying like, hey, you know, this is my guy, this is our guy, and this is an admission of guilt. But none of your evidence proves that my client's the guy on the phone. Like, isn't that something, isn't that an important aspect of this case? Yeah. If the whole case is riding on this phone call, how do you connect my client to this phone call? Yeah. And she goes, well, I can just tell. he goes, what do you mean you can just tell? She goes, I can tell it's him by the pitch and tone of his voice. And I was like, oh, everybody in the courtroom's like, oh, fuck, dude. Yeah. Because like,
but at the same time, how much of this guy's life have they ruined and disrupted to have nothing?
Yeah, bro. And so like, then of course, like you say something like that on the fucking stand to the defense lawyer, you're going to get fucking eaten alive. And he goes, oh, okay. I didn't realize you were like an auditory specialist. Please instruct the jury on your training and experience and what makes you a subject matter expert on tone and pitch.
Yeah.
I don't have anything, you know? And it's like, and he walked. And very, very, very rarely do you see people beat the federal government.
Okay.
Right? Because like, I think they have like a 98% conviction rate.
Because they pick low hanging fruit.
Isn't that fucking nuts, dude?
They're not going after the cartel running fentanyl up into the Puget Sound area. But they're going after easy cases that they know they can win.
This is what made me think about this is like the judicial system that we're operating under, bro, they're not there to try and find justice.
No.
They're there to try and win.
Yeah. They want that percentage.
They want to win. Yep. And so like they want to win so bad that if you're in trial and you're a prosecutor and you're going after this guy and the defense says something that's like mitigating, they'll be like, "Oh, Your Honor, I want that stricken from the record."
Yeah.
Like they shouldn't be able to say that. And then sometimes the judge will be like, "You're right. They shouldn't have said that. I'll instruct the jury to disregard the previous sentence."
Yeah.
Like you can just Control Alt Delete from your brain, you know? But it's like, if I'm a prosecutor and there's something that's mitigating and you bring it up as the defense lawyer, shouldn't my goal be like, oh, well, let me hear about this.
Yeah.
Because if it is mitigating, I should probably want to know about it. They don't want to know about it. No. And so like, and one thing that made me realize that was, and I've tried to find the guy. If anyone knows who Daryl Van Snowden is, connect him with me. Because he defeated the federal government going pro se and fucking, I watched the whole fucking trial.
What's pro se mean?
Pro se means you represent yourself in court.
Oh, he was a sovereign citizen.
Yeah, he did not hire a lawyer.
Because if you do, you're not a sovereign citizen.
And bro, check this out. He won.
Yeah,
right?
Of course he did.
And I fucking, the prosecutor, and here's the thing, this prosecutor is like radical left wing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. This is Los Angeles.
Yeah. Downtown Los Angeles, the federal court, the Roybal building. And dude, if you're fucking, you know, that side of the political spectrum is always acting like, oh, we're on your side and we take care of the little man and we're here for you. Fuck no, dude. They're part of the machine that wants to chew you up and spit you out.
Yep.
And I told her, bro, I was like, you're going to lose this case. And she's like, not a fucking chance. Not a chance. She goes, this is a slam dunk. I said, when he was up on the stunt, when he was up testifying, all the jurors were laughing.
Yeah.
So he got some.
Yep.
He has it and you don't. And she goes, I'll bet you $50. I said, fucking put it there, dude. and I got paid $50 when he walked.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, bro, like you got these prosecutors and the case deputy gambling over this guy's fucking future.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
It's fucked up, dude.
It is.
And that's the whole system, bro.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why it's so important for us to start a new system. Like part of me is like, I don't even think, I hear a lot of people talk about like, oh, Biden's doing such a terrible job or whatever. And it's like, is he? Is that if he wanted what you wanted, sure. But how do you know that the government has the same ideologies and morals and beliefs as you?
Yeah, maybe he's doing a fucking fantastic job.
I think he's doing fantastic. I think all of them are doing fantastic. They're not fucking up at all.
For accomplishing their goals and their mission.
100%.
Did you see?
We are doing a bad job at
countering it.
Yeah.
Marjorie Taylor Greene. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
So she just proposed a bill that I think it's going to get passed, where she wants to have every dollar that went to Ukraine be audited.
Okay.
Please.
And she said, listen,
Hang on. How is it acceptable that there is no
And people
oversight
are
of the
fighting-
dollars going
and
to
bro,
Ukraine?
people
And
are
why
fi-
would you not want it audited?
people are
Who the
fighting
fuck
her
is
like she's
against the audit?
crazy.
Yeah. Oh,
You know what
okay.
I mean? And it's like, she said, like, hey, the taxpayers deserve to know if you're sending their money to Ukraine, where it's
Unbelievable.
going, right?
Yep.
And so, I mean, that could be the first step
It could.
in the right direction, dude.
It definitely could.
But
Except
like,
it'll never
fucking,
happen,
bro,
because
bro,
there's so many guilty parties on both sides
yeah,
of the aisle
bro,
that they
they're,
won't let that.
they're,
it's so
it's the biggest
fucking deep, dude.
money laundering operation of our fucking lifetimes,
Of
bro.
course. And so is
And
the
like
system
history,
broken?
probably.
What's that?
In history, probably.
Bro, you see fucking Zelensky,
48
like
trillion.
his dance videos and shit.
Dude, I can't
Have you
even
seen
watch it.
It's
Yes,
like,
dude.
that motherfucker's an actor.
All of them
Yeah.
are
You know?
actors. They're all, it's like,
And he gets up on the stand and is like, oh, thank you to the United States for... Have you listened to that motherfucker talk, dude?
No,
It sounds like a...
I won't listen.
Well, dude, he went and talked in front of the Austrian parliament last week.
Yeah,
They all walked out.
Good.
They were not fucking listening to you, motherfucker, dude.
Good.
You've got our House of Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, hanging a fucking Ukrainian flag in the chamber. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
while her husband's getting fucked by a fucking male prostitute. You know?
Yeah,
And that's not me talking shit.
right.
That's
No,
the truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
That's the truth. And so then it's
Twisted
like,
motherfuckers.
Yeah.
so what makes
Fuck.
people think that it's like, what if, just like everything else, what if we found out that it was designed exactly like this and that we're not supposed, like,
Let me ask you this. Do you believe, like Stefan believes,
uh-huh.
that the opposition in the world are literally like a different species?
Yeah.
Like-
Hang on. There's also a lot of Native American traditions that talk about the first people were reptiles. It's not just modern conspiracy
No,
theories.
no, this is
Like,
this is every
a bunch
single
of Native
ancient
American
culture.
cultures. Like their lore is that their tribe is evolved out of people who came out of the earth as reptiles.
Well, here's the thing.
Serpents.
Stefan is one of the smartest human beings I know, and he's one of the most morally and ethically straight human
Yeah.
beings I know. So it's like, do I agree with everything he says? No. But when
You
he
shouldn't.
says something,
You listen.
it's not just like, what the fuck, dude? Like if Stefan says that to me,
Uh-huh.
there's a reason he came to that conclusion, right?
Oh yeah.
And he believes it's a spiritual battle, and these people that are on the other side, that is their life force
100%.
that they draw from us being in a triggered, emotionally driven state, dude. And they suck our energy out of us.
It's called loosh.
Of course.
Of course,
Yeah,
Tyler knows
of
it.
course.
Yeah.
And bro, like at some point, all of these, like, you know, if you would have told me that there was an evil entities that wanted to suck our energy out, if you would have told me that 5 years ago, I'd have been like, bro, you're on fucking drugs,
Told me
right?
that in 2019, I
Yeah.
laughed.
But bro,
now
like,
I'm listening.
everything is so fucked up where we do have the evilest people in power that are again, it's not incompetence. They are purposely destroying our lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Why would you? Because here's the thing, man. If it was all about money, right? If it was all about money, then we could just simply, hey, let's just fucking, they're already living at the top. Nancy Pelosi's house is worth $25 million.
The Federal Reserve is backed off of fiat currency. They already have all the money.
That's
They
what I'm
own
saying.
all of the money.
So like if it was just for them to be in power, they're already in
It's
power.
powerless.
But what would keep them in a higher state of power? A thriving economy with a bunch of people under you that are strong and fucking like getting after it and building and creating and loving.
for us,
Yeah, but wouldn't that also serve them?
no.
Yes,
No,
I
I know.
know.
No.
I think there's something to be said for the evil aspect of it, to where they obviously seem to want to ruin the society, right? There
Yes.
seems to be some benefit to them, or at least they perceive there.
Well, that's my point.
What Greg's saying is, if this was just straight up human lust for power and good old fashioned greed, it would make more sense to want to be.
To see us
Oh,
succeed.
yes, I see what you mean. Yes.
You
Yeah,
would
yeah.
want a
It's
nice
not
society
that.
to enjoy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, it's not
It gives
that.
plausibility to your theories.
Yes.
Of loosh.
Of loosh. Okay, this is you want me to break
Break
it down
down
for you?
loosh, dude.
Okay, this is what this is just my opinion through what I've
I'm gonna have to
researched.
drink this. if
Okay.
we're talking.
This is the first time anyone really has actually said, "Hey, do you believe this? And if you do, why?" And here's my reason why. Through my 10 years of research of all the different weird shit that for whatever reason called me to research, I found out that every ancient religion talks about this serpent race of some sort or another, whether it's a snake, Quetzalcoatl, hieroglyphs of like alligator looking people like etched into
everybody's seen those Egyptian ones.
They call them crocodile people.
They're everywhere. Even Christianity has the serpent in the fucking Eden of Garden about temptation. We are the only mammals that have reptilian like in our brain.
Hang on. So clarify that, because you mentioned that when we did the joint podcast with you. I think what Tyler's saying is we have a zone of our brain that is descended from it's a common whatever cortex.
We share the same as like a reptilian.
Yeah.
One part in our brain.
Yes.
And it holds we have to have it. It holds our pride, our ego, our jealousy, our enviness, our protectiveness, our fears. It's very important that a human has this. But other mammals do not have this, okay? Then there's like eugenics, which most people don't know what that is, but it's changing the gene forms of different beings. We do it with plants all the time. If you had a Honeycrisp apple, that is a mom of one type and a dad breeding, right? We do it with animals. If you have a mixed dog, that was that's called eugenics. They've been doing this, and I say they as the powers that be. And what I mean is we're going to get to these reptilians. This is what I think. That we live in a certain frequency, the frequency of Mother Earth. We've all been talking about everything's energy and...
Yeah, for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. And the way I look at it is that we humans, we have a soul, and that this body of ours is our vessel to experience the human realm, the 3D realm, the 5-sense reality form. And it's a frequency. It's like tuning into a channel station. If no one ever had a modem to turn into the internet, could you explain the internet to someone in the jungle who's never had the computer or internet before? No, you would have to have some type of mechanism for them to see it. I believe that we are supposed to be tuned into Mother Nature's frequency. Somewhere along the lines, I don't know, I've heard about the golden age of like Mu and Lemuria and Atlantis, the Bach saga, Paradiset. There's all these different times of like this golden era. Even in Christianity, there's a golden era. Well, something happened. I don't know what happened, but to me, through the folklore, through the religions, through the ancient texts and all the different scientific architecture and shit that's out there, something makes me think that our DNA has been hijacked or something. We have weird stuff going on. And then the symbolism of they cannot be here in our frequency due to, like, you can't be tuned into channel 177 if you're tuned into channel 13. You would have to have something to get you onto that frequency to view that radio station or that television channel. This is what I see happening. All the things that you talk about on your podcast, that I talk about on my podcast, that every other fucking human that I see talking about is in a state of they want something better. Something in their heart knows that this world that we're living in isn't being ran the proper way. You talk about these deforestation where it hurts something in our heart. We talk about this connection, and like all of the things we're talking about is low vibration stuff. When I see the human trafficking going up to the highest level and what they're doing in these rituals, these Freemason bloodlines and families that no one even knows who they are, I don't even think they're at the top. I think that at some point there becomes like a paranormal something where the powers that be have to use low vibration to harvest our energy, or else they can't be in this frequency. I don't think that you'd ever get rid of evil. To me, they're evil.
Because then there couldn't be good.
Because then there can't be good.
Yeah.
But what you can do is just like this shungite on my fucking bracelet or in there, I can emit EMFs and radiation and hold a frequency higher. This is why the gym is so good. It can hold a high fucking frequency that does not allow the parasites in. And when I look at who and what's going on in the world, I see The whole thing is to get humans out of balance. The whole world is fucking out of balance. It's not tuned to the right frequency. But we all know in our hearts what that right frequency is. It's love, it's compassion, it's community, it's connecting, it's prospering and thriving and laughing and smiling and hugging and all the things that every single human on planet Earth wants. But we cannot obtain it. We're put under the thumb of something that's bigger than us. It's a spiritual thing where they have to, in my opinion,
something nefarious.
Nefarious.
I said that for Will.
Yes.
Says that's my favorite word to use on the podcast.
Yes. And you've watched Monsters Inc. before?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's laughing kids fucking or screaming kids like.
And they harvest the juice, right? The battery juice out of them so that they can fucking light up their world. And what happens when Sully starts figuring out that laughter and love works way fucking better, way faster, and it's like booming.
Uh-huh.
And then they don't want us to know about this intention and all this stuff. This is all high vibration. We all know that we say that we have the power. They do not. We will become ungovernable when our vibration is at a certain point. Why? Why is it the vibration? Because when we're at a low vibration, we have this other entity out there that literally looshes our fucking souls from the time we're born to the time we're dead. They try to get us to live us the longest fucking life and in the worst shape the whole fucking time to keep you in a perpetual misery, treachery, shitty fucking state so that they can just...
they're like big succubus.
They call you a human resource.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's all you fucking are.
And that's why, and again, like... I'm not fucking saying that, oh yeah, Roger that. That's right.
No.
I'm learning your perspective.
Yeah.
But it would make sense because the powers that be, again, like for a long time, I was like, dude, is it just incompetence? Why everything is always ran poorly? Like, why do we allow, like if you live in Seattle, if anyone that lives in Seattle like we do, go drive through the city and you understand that the city is being purposefully kept in a perpetual fucking state of just fucking
chaos.
And
it's fucking Gotham City.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's parasitic.
Yes. And you can't say like, okay, well, if they went and did this, it could fix that. Like all these different ideas that if you sat the three of us down with the city council and said, hey, what would you do to start to fix and clean up Seattle? Us three knuckle draggers could fucking come up with some very, very effective plans. There's a lot of smart people out there that are capable of coming up with ideas and programs. They purposely don't do any of that. Yep. They purposely keep our cities in a state that are degrading. We're always fucking kicking off a new war. There's always fucking just negative shit going on.
Poverty and war are both huge money makers. So if you think about it, what do people who are on food stamps buy? Kraft macaroni, boxed rice-a-roni, all the processed foods. And when you look at, like if you ever look at those hierarchy charts of what owns which company, it's like General Mills, Kraft, and Kellogg's are three of the biggest that own all the subsidiaries. So when our taxpayer money goes to food stamps and then people go to the grocery store, they're buying all the cheap shit, and that ends up filtering up to those 3-4 massive conglomerates that own all the little Coca-Cola and
which also keeps everyone in a retarded state of mind, which doesn't allow them to ever learn and raise their vibration.
Feeding you fucking cornflakes just to keep you retarded your whole life.
Because if you raise your vibration, you're going to find out what we're finding out, and that's ungovernable. So they have to now's the things that the human, I don't know if it's the Mayan calendar, the 2012, I don't know about any of that shit. All I know is that for the last little bit of time, I learned in 2012 is when this all started to make sense to me. But for most people, the last 2 to 3 years is that like now that people are starting to have a new perception, they're awakening to their soul. I don't know exactly the Great Awakening. I don't know what it is or what it's called, but humans are waking up to that feeling that I'm just talking about. The one that you're talking about, this connection, are we living the way we're supposed to be living? Why is it that no matter how hard I try and the more that I try, the more I feel like I'm getting pushed back when that doesn't feel natural at all? It always feels like something. I truly believe that most of the problems is because of this entity or thing that's held over us. You get that out of the way and let us do what we're talking about. And your average person is like, everyone's going to raise the vibration.
Yeah.
We're not in low vibration. Why? Because we've learned that all of these things are bad. We started doing it, and then all of a sudden our vibration raises. And now good luck ever trying to get any one of us to be governed again in any way, shape, or form.
But maybe, just like you said, you can't have dark without light.
No.
Maybe we need these opposing energies, and we consider ourselves on the side of good.
Yep.
They probably consider themselves on the side of good.
Sure.
And the pendulum probably just swings
back and forth.
Back and forth.
100%. But just like you said, you want to go fight over the island for fucking whatever you believe in?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we're at the time where we're going to fight and we're going to kick their ass. And so then we'll live maybe 1,000 years of this golden era, and people will become weak again, and they'll fucking come back with vengeance.
Dude.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right?
The Renaissance was preceded by the medieval age, right?
Mhm.
And then, so it is kind of like a pendulum. that
But
goes back
I
and forth.
truly believe that humans are becoming more connected with their senses. People are going outside of just the five. Like, you talk about your intuition all the time.
Yeah.
If you didn't, you wouldn't have a fucking vision board
I think
on your
some
wall.
people are. The people who are searching and are
That's
starting
what I
to
mean.
realize- I
But
think there's a lot of
but that's
people
where it
happy
starts.
on the couch with
That high vibration is stronger than low vibration. If bad guys or reptilians or shapeshifter lizard people, whatever you want to fucking call them, are keeping us in low vibration, then how do I explain it? If they keep us in the low vibration and we don't ever ascend, they're going to get total control. But humans are ascending at a rapid fucking rate. As soon as the next person listens to this, their mind is going to, at least, it's a seed that gets planted.
Yeah.
Might not grow right away, but it's a seed that gets planted. And most people are not going to pick the seed out because it actually feels good to them, even though it's fucked up in their brain and doesn't make sense. Something about it resonates on a different frequency that's like, I need to look into this.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
that's me the last 2.5 years.
100%.
I would
And
have
when we hang out,
dismissed all this in 2019.
I know.
And now I'm listening, and I don't know how much of it I believe and how much of it I
No.
don't, but
We all grow at our different rates.
Yeah.
But as we grow, then our positivity branches light out on other people.
Bro, maybe we're not in charge of any of this, and we are all like, we come down to earth, and we already are who we are, and we just have to figure out how to make what our energy consists of work in the physical realm. You know, because it's like, again, I've said it on the show 100 times. When I watch Braveheart as a 14-year-old boy, instantly, I want to kill. I want to kill bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, I want to fight for good, and I want to kill evil.
Yeah.
14 years old.
Yeah.
Don't know shit.
Yeah.
Just found my dick a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to this day, I watch that, and it's like, God, I want to chop motherfuckers up with an axe that want to control and subjugate and tax and keep people down. And like all the things that we would attribute as evil. Since I was a little boy, I wanted to distinguish it. And like, what is that? Because I have a lot of friends who are like, I can't believe you think that's a good movie. It's 3 hours. Who wants to watch a 3 hour movie? And it's like, motherfucker, that is my life, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's been calling to me for 30 years now.
And what is that strong intuition? Do you know what a star seed is?
No.
Oh,
Of course not. Bro.
God damn it. Okay. So
gonna turn into a
You
lecture
start
by
the
Tyler.
star seed while I urinate.
okay.
But I can hear you from the bathroom.
Okay. So I don't know that much about star seeds.
Okay.
I just found out maybe a year ago. All of a sudden, all these things started popping up where it was like, well, that word, that's what started it. And then I looked into it, and it's like a soul that came here for a specific purpose.
Okay.
Signed like a contract and is from some other constellation. And there's many different constellations of different types of things, like Pleiadians or Armidons or Arcturians and Syrian. There's all these different things, places, constellations. Like I said, I'm not a fucking professional at this. I'm just figuring it out. But after my last ceremony, I went to a sound healing bath with Vanessa, and it's like Tibetan bowls and rain dance makers and gongs, and you just laid down. It was like a ceremony. You laid on your mat, you put an eye mask on, and you let them fucking do this sound healing bath. When I got done, there was a tarot card or oracle card or some type of card, and I look at it, and it's like new mission or double mission starseed. And I'm like, what the fuck, dude? I'm noticing this starseed keeps coming into my life. So I look at it, and I read it, and I'm like, spot on, super weird, but maybe not. Maybe that's just how it is. And then after my last ceremony, like I was telling you guys, I found out like I'm not from here. And this woman,
bro, the guy that I'm doing ceremony with, Chris Packney, who did this podcast.
Okay.
And he is a big part of teaching me about ayahuasca. He said that verbatim.
Did he really?
He goes, I realized I'm a star child.
Yeah, that's it.
He goes, I'm not of this world.
Me either.
How weird.
And he goes, and I learned that in ceremony.
Me too. And then this woman, her name's Amy.
He's doing it with me next week too. He'll be there.
Dude.
Interesting.
I need to talk to this guy.
You'll love him. He's cool as fuck, bro.
Yeah. So this woman named Amy goes, because I was in integration and I was talking and I'm like, yeah. And then, I keep coming across a fucking starseed. I have no idea what this thing is. And here, like in my mind, I realized last night that Mama told me that I was not from here. She didn't bring me to the place where I'm from, but she gave me the feelings. And then I had to go through the feelings of all human feelings, like I've talked about with you guys, anxiety, depression, joy. She'd put it in different orders, so that if I had like 3 pleasures in a row, I could tell that it wasn't as good as if I had like anger, misery, sadness, and then fucking accomplishment. Like the feeling I would get would be like, oh my God, I love being a human being. And then it was like, I don't even know how to explain it to you guys. I was so happy in the morning time when I woke up. I'd never been happier to be a human. I was so fucking pumped, and I was like, this is rad. All my senses, I'm very aware of like what I see, what I hear, what I touch, because wherever I'm from, I don't get any of that. No, that's only here. And I was like,
so you're enjoying the ride.
Oh, I fucking love it, because I got to feel what it was like without it, and where it's just pure bliss. But you don't get to ride this emotional roller coaster like we're talking about, the exhilaration. And when I got done the next morning, this woman's like, you brought up Starseed and I need you to buy this book. And I was like, okay. And so I did. And I just finished it actually last night.
How you burn through books, bro.
Oh, fuck. Yes, I do. I don't know. So I smashed through the book real quick. This isn't a very big book either. And it's actually, when it's super interesting, like you're reading it and it's like, dude, this is exactly my whole life. For the first 10 years, this is the thing, is that I found out I'm an Arcturian. Okay. I come from the Arcturian constellation, and it does all these tests and you read all these things. Like, it's pretty fucking
What's the name of the book? Do you remember?
Let me pull my phone out.
Because if people are listening and they're interested, they want to fucking see that shit too, man.
Hang on. You bring up a fun thought that I had the other night, which is that, like, how when you wake up and you remember like a glimpse of your dream just before you lose it, and you're like, man, that was wild. Do you think on the day you die, your soul will wake up somewhere else and be like, whoa, I think that was fucking crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah. Like this is almost a dream of physical.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, boom. Hey,
I mean, we would never know.
You went and did this for a little bit, and now you're back.
Yeah.
So
this is the book. It's called
Starseeds.
Yeah, it says The Beginner's Guide to Starseeds: Understanding Star People and Finding Your Own Origins in the Stars by Whitney Jefferson Evans.
All right.
So anyways, I burned through it, found out that I'm an Arcturian, and it's like, what the fuck? And so I'm reading, and
do people that read that book and come to these realizations, are they doing so through plant medicine as well? Is that kind of
that can be a way, but most people, I don't think so.
No?
I think
my understanding is that plant medicine is a cheat code to get you where like meditation and or like breath work can get you without,
Okay,
without
yeah.
narcotics.
Yeah, and I'm just an extreme person, so it's like, fuck it, I'll just do this and learn as much fucking shit as I can.
Yeah.
And then, it's like my motto, I guess, is just bite off more than you can chew and chew like hell.
Well, bro, let me ask you this
Yeah.
thing, because this is kind of in conjunction with the starseed thing. Because, you're supposed to set intentions, right, before you go to ceremony. And I mean, I have like 5 days of ceremony in a row, so I'll be able to go through some different intentions.
Jesus Christ.
I know, fuck. When you guys are saying fuck, bro, it makes me nervous a little bit.
Dude, you
But
can do it.
one of my, I think it might be my first intention is like, why is there this monster inside of me?
Yeah.
Like there's a monster inside of me, and I don't know kind of what to do with it. Because teaching jujitsu, and again, we've talked hours about jujitsu and how much fucking joy it brings me and how much fulfillment it gives me, but it doesn't quell that monster.
No.
That monster wants to come out when people look at me wrong.
Yep.
Sometimes that monster wants to come out when I walk by someone in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know I want to grab a can of soup and smash their face.
She's going to show you this.
Yeah, I want to know.
And you're going to cry.
I want to know. But bro, I honestly think maybe I was put into this universe for a massive fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that monster has been put inside of me, and I've been seeking releasing that monster my whole life. That's why I volunteered. Let's go fight here. Let's go fight there.
I no longer look at Iraq and Afghanistan as my war. That was my train up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, why do I want to fight MMA? Why do I want to go kill men in Ramadi?
Yeah.
Like, there's a monster, but what's it for?
You'll find out.
And I want to know, bro.
You're going to find out.
So that's my first ceremony's intention. Because again, dude, I think, and maybe she'll confirm what I think, or maybe it's something that I can't even fucking comprehend yet.
The biggest mistake you can go in there is
thinking you know.
Thinking you know.
Yeah.
I just think,
Yeah.
so I'll tell you, like, because obviously I have a thought process on why that's inside of me, right?
Yeah.
I think I was put here for a massive fight. And I don't know what that looks like. And I don't necessarily know what my role, and it's like, since me and Jenny got together when she was 23, the joke she used to say is, you're going to be the leader of the revolution. She used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
You're going to be the fucking leader of the resistance. You're going to be John Connor. You know what I mean? Like we used to say,
there might be a reason we were all brought together again in 2020.
yeah, dude. And so it's like, if you really, and then here's the other side of it. If I really believe that that's my future, maybe I'm manifesting it.
Uh-huh.
Well, that's
You know
the
what I'm
quantum
saying?
part of it.
That's
it.
Maybe because you're thinking about it and putting that thought toward it, it's actually going to happen because you thought it.
And so
But
it's
it
like,
also could have been a thought. Maybe you're a starseed. Maybe you fucking came here on a mission because you were like, I'll sign up to fight.
yeah,
And
that's
I'm-
kind of what it feels like. dude.
That's what I mean.
And I haven't even went to the jungle yet.
That's
dude.
what I mean.
You've,
It's like
you've spent the last 40 years getting your avatar trained up.
Yeah.
Just for that.
for the
And,
fight.
and a lot of people told me, and I'm sure, Tyler, you were one of them, probably both of you guys, are like, once you sign up to go to the jungle, the mission is started.
Yep.
You'll start to feel things. You'll start to like kind of take notice of things. And one thing I've noticed ever since I fucking committed to going to the jungle, from the time I committed until right now, my fuse is getting shorter and shorter and shorter.
You're nervous.
And shorter and
Yeah, you're
shorter.
nervous.
But it's like to the point where it's like, bro, I want to fucking kill you. Like I'm getting mad at people again when I kind of thought I had control of that for a while. Like that fucking delivery driver the other day.
Yep.
I was ready to kill him over him cutting me off. Right. And he aggressively cut me off and was like trying to stop me in the road. And it's like to the death. Right. But let's be honest, that's foolish.
Yep.
I've had that same scenario happen 6 months ago where I was like, that's not worth my time. And then I look at myself in the mirror. I'm like, dude, you've grown up. You've matured.
Yeah.
You're putting it together.
Yeah.
And then 6 months later, I'm ready to fight a dude in the street. And I don't want to fight him. I want to fucking smash his fucking skull open with a brick.
Yeah.
What the fuck's going on, dude?
Inner stuff. You'll get it sorted out. Maybe not all of it, but you'll get a lot of it sorted out. And it won't. The best part is like you have no control over it. So unlike going to a therapist and talking to a human being,
I
and
was
like
just going to say that the best thing you can do is somehow, it's hard. It's either easier said than done. Convince yourself that you have no control of anything. And that's
And you're just there to learn. My thing is
Just
like,
let her show you.
I'm just like,
what
look,
it is.
you give me, I set intentions, but also under the thing of like, you know what's best. I surrender. When you show me, I won't run away. I'll lean in. Just like jujitsu, just like any other fucking thing in life. I'm here to learn and to become a better version of myself. And if
lean the fuck in.
lean the fuck in. And you know what? If you have something to show me. And this is why you're gonna do great because of the jujitsu. You have so many more years than me. And I can go and understand, like, at first you want to fight. That's just in us, right? And then you realize, like, oh, okay.
submitted.
Yeah, this person is, well, not person. This spirit is like incomprehensible to you. You realize that, like,
you can't fight it.
Fuck no. It's not like that.
It's even worse than fighting Bushesha.
It's even worse than that.
Did you see the picture I shared of him?
I didn't realize he was a giant.
You saw that? There?
Yes, I did.
You didn't know that?
I knew that he was like a savage on the mat, obviously, but I didn't realize he was also a giant.
Yeah.
I figured he was like Joao size.
Fuck no. Bro.
And once you realize the power, you'll be like,
Oh god.
oh, I want to know all this. You're a curious guy. You already have all these questions of like, you want to learn. And so to me, that's the biggest thing. I think that just going there, opening up your fucking heart and your mind and just what's meant to be is meant to be. And then it takes, it's not like you just get done with it and all of a sudden poof, that's like in the past.
What do you think of this as an intention? Because again, I have 5 nights to set some different intentions. Because, I take fucking all kinds of supplements and TRT and BioPro and all this bullshit because my body's not what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Can you set an intention to be like, dude, show me how to stay the strongest while I'm still in the physical realm?
100%.
Yes.
Okay.
And actually the shaman who was there when I went to a ceremony, he said he's had experiences where people have actually fixed, like, cause I have like a rotator cuff injury in my left shoulder. And he said that people have fixed physical ailments through these healing ceremonies.
Well, in that
Which, again,
documentary,
I don't know if I believe that or not. But
Yeah.
No, I watched.
I know a few people who now have said, like, and the thing is, they all say the same thing, that there's they're little praying mantis that go inside and work on them. All 3 of them have said the same thing.
Bro, that Heal documentary that I've referenced fucking 3 times now on Prime.
Yeah.
It said that like people will visualize like, and some of this was under the like assistance of plant medicines. And then some was just like you said, meditations, right? Where it's like, okay, I have a tumor and I need to have that tumor dissolved. How could you have a tumor dissolved? Imagine what a pack of piranhas would do to a tumor.
Mm-hmm.
And you visualize your tumor floating in a body of water and a school of piranhas coming up. And you watch every single bite from every single fish until it's gone. And you can't say it's bullshit anymore.
It's
because
quantum mechanics.
people,
the cat is alive or it's dead
people
until you decide
are curing themselves through meditation, through visualization. And one of them did heal. And I think it might have been a different documentary where the girl healed herself with ayahuasca, but she was terminal. Mm-hmm. And she's like fucking, her body was fucking completely giving out. And I don't remember exactly what ailment it was, but she's like, I got nothing to lose. So I'm going to go talk to fucking Mother Aya and say, what are we going to do with this body? And she fixed her.
Yeah, well, so
like, fuck, man.
And I don't think that she fixed her. I think she gives you
the tools to
fix yourself, because it's not the tea. It's not the tea. It's the tea that allows you to go to this place and gather as much knowledge as I can, and then come back and use the tools.
Well, and bro, I've even talked about that with marijuana, which
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been high in a month now, which is that's a different topic, but I kind of like it.
Yeah,
like this period of sobriety is like I've fallen in love with marijuana so much, and bro, I think I got a little addicted to it.
Yep.
And not physically, because I could quit cold turkey.
Yeah,
just in love
but
with the feeling.
Emotionally, like I want to feel a certain way,
Yep.
and now I don't have it, and it's like, motherfucker, get control of yourself.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But what was I saying about that? Now I'm fucking off fucking track.
The manifesting healing, and you wanted to ask intentions for how to maintain your strength and physical body.
Oh yeah, but there was a point of bringing up the marijuana thing
About bringing the tools back with you.
Oh
and
yes,
using them.
yes, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Thank you for remembering that. I've told people that why I think marijuana is such a powerful tool is because your regular everyday life, you're a human being, we're 6 feet tall, our eyes sit at fucking 5'8", and we interpret the world at 5'8".
Yep.
And I think marijuana allows you to climb a ladder that's like 50 feet tall and look down and see a perspective from above. But when you crawl back down to that ladder to the ground level and put your eyes back at 5'8", you remember that perspective.
Yep.
That's where people think like, oh, marijuana makes you lazy and it makes you unmotivated. And it's like, actually, some of the toughest athletes I know are fucking guys that partake.
There's a group of unnamed folks at your gym who often smoke marijuana before practice.
Yes. And they're fucking monsters, bro.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was just going to say, yeah.
But my point is, it's
Kozak's
like, dude,
always texting. You guys want to smoke before practice?
oh, bro, look at Seven.
Yeah.
Seven looks so high that he can barely roll.
He
and then
sleep.
he puts his hands on you and you're fucking in a fight for your life, dude.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
But I like, if you can, that's where the magic happens. Because like sometimes if you're in like a dream state, like you said, when you come to, sometimes like, fuck, man, something powerful was in my head. What was it though?
Yeah.
Or where'd that go? Or where'd that come from? And then you kind of lose it. With marijuana, it's in mushrooms too. It's like, oh, I remember vividly that perspective. Now I can apply that in my sober brain. And it goes back to what you said. Some people find it through meditation, or like, was it you? It's a cheat code.
He said cheat
Yeah,
code, but
it bumps your head a little bit.
it does.
So you're saying ayahuasca is very similar then in the fact that like,
and just like
the lessons you take,
and it will be
when
the
you
most
sober-
vivid, clear thing you've ever dealt with in
when
your
you
life.
sober up.
and it has a long half-life. So just like psilocybin, and this is why they're saying that, like, there's legit medical research out of Johns Hopkins that shows that a single dose of psilocybin can have sometimes lifelong effects on people's like depression. And so it has a long half-life, meaning it stays in your system for a long time. So oftentimes, or I shouldn't say oftentimes, this is what the shaman told me, and then what I experienced myself, is that you have all these revelations at the ceremony, but then it continues for weeks and months afterwards. And that's one, again, when you're talking about like pharmaceuticals versus plant medicine, a pharmaceutical, a lot of times it's like, hey, you have to take this twice a day and refill your prescription and take this twice a day. Whereas imagine if you can just take a heroic dose of mushrooms once every 3 years, or once in your lifetime. Like, but there's definitely no profit in that model.
Climb up to a tree in a lightning storm and have your stuttering taken away.
Yeah. Another thing that they don't want us to fucking know that. They don't want us to know that our thoughts can heal ourselves. They don't want us to know that, hey, there's some plants that are grown in the fucking jungle that you could tap into your higher consciousness and become a better version, which ultimately just raises your vibration. It all goes back to the energy.
Where I was going with that is that you may not get the revelations you want while you're in the jungle.
No.
But when you come home, we're like, it's actually, I think they'll probably tell you, like, hey, when you go home, just understand that some of this stuff is going to keep coming up. So don't like lose your shit on your kids or your wife or whatever, because these revelations are actually going to keep coming for several months.
Yeah, dude. They actually told me, they said to come out of ceremony, what you should do is book another week and spend that week on the beach. You know,
dude,
so
integrating back into real life.
As much as I want to do that, the other side of this is it's like, yeah, I might go down there and find that I'm a star child and that I fucking am from another universe to fucking fight a war against evil. Again.
Yeah.
but I also have fucking bills to come home to,
right,
and a business to run and all that shit, right?
Yeah.
And so I've actually been thinking about that. It's like, fuck, man, I don't want to, like, ceremony ends on the 13th. I have one day and I'm flying home on the 15th. And it's like, am I going to get back on the plane with all the morbidly obese people?
So weird.
And it's just like,
it's so fucking weird, bro. Even this whole week for me, even at my own house with my own wife and children, and it's not them that's weird. What's weird is that the amount of information I just dealt with, there's no other humans that I can talk to really about this. Thank God that I have you guys, because even when I talk to Vanessa, and it's not her fault. She just hasn't experienced what I've experienced or gone to that place that we can all go.
That's a good way to put it too. You just downloaded a massive file.
Oh,
and it's
fuck.
Like, oh
and
God,
it's like,
I need time to process this.
And then you look around and it's like, what the fuck? Like, it feels like I just got dropped. I was working in my garage and it's quiet and I'm just standing there and I go, holy shit, dude. All right, I'm at my house and I'm by myself in the garage, and it's just, it's so bizarre. I don't know how to explain it. Not in a bad way. It could be. I could see how some people would be like, "Whoa, this is fucked up." And it's like someone took like the library of information in the world and just gave it to you. Like,
yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like, what the fuck do I do with all of this? Things don't make sense anymore, or now they make so much sense. It's just, I don't know how to explain it, man. You're going to go?
Yeah, you'll see. You'll see.
And
I get it. So the ceremony I went to, there were guys who, after the second night ended, they were like packing up their stuff and just driving home. And I remember that was originally me and Dave's plan. And then it just turned out that the Airbnb had been rented for an extra night. So we were like, oh shit, let's just stay here. Cause I don't think I can fucking deal with the real world.
You
right
can't
now.
go human
I just
yet?
need
No,
I need to sit quietly and think about everything that's happened in the last 48 hours.
And the shaman told me the main reason why is because mama blasts all your chakras wide open. And when you just go through an arduous journey with other human beings, you share love with other human beings, you're all connected in the spirit realm with other human beings, and all your guys' hearts are blasted wide open, that is not the balance that's out in the real world. And so when you go step from what I call the love bubble
to a fucking TSA line.
it
Yeah,
hurts
exactly.
your fucking soul and spirit so bad where you're like, what the fuck is going on? And it's because you have to transition back into what we chose to do. They always tell me, Tyler, remember why you came here? And it's like, oh, now I understand. I've been reading my Starseed book. I realized that I had to do all these things that went through the first 10 years of my life, the second decade and the third decade. And it all makes, dude, more sense than anything I've ever came across.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Bro, do you think this is something that everybody should experience?
Yes.
Or do you
Hang on.
think, or do you
Tyler,
think
Tyler
that,
just hit on it too. He said it blasts your heart wide open. And I would assume, and I hope you have the opportunity to take heart medicine while you're down there, but it's unlike anything I'm not even going to try to describe it into a microphone because I can't. You know what I'm talking about.
what is heart medicine?
It's plants. And
Yeah.
I can't remember which ones it is, but if I remember,
Because I
when he
know as of right now, I'm going to be doing ayahuasca and peyote.
those will open your hearts, dude, over a period of time.
I think before you drink the ayahuasca tea, you'll probably, especially on the first night, maybe two, my guess is you'll be offered heart medicine. And that's sort of the beginning of the ceremony. But it literally, what Tyler just said, all the walls you've built up around your heart to sort of protect your spirit and your soul, poof, gone. Like obliterated.
And it's like, this goes back to just the connection. I realized that, I just go back to my first time where I had like these gay guys and some fucking purple haired people. And I'm like, dude, I haven't even slept outside of my own bed and I don't know how long. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of fucking faggots. I don't want to hang out with a bunch of people that I don't really know, sleep in the same spot. Then we had the night and I felt like nothing happened. I just hated everyone and wanted them to shut the fuck up. And they were all being pussies.
Yeah, you said that dude was like going, meow.
Yeah, all this
Fucking-
different shit. And then the next day, it's like, I don't feel that way at all. These are brothers and sisters of mine, humans who are, or maybe they're not humans like me, but have chosen a human experience. I was born, physically, I'm a human being. I chose to have a complete human experience with everyone else around. And when I, like this gay guy in particular, who I didn't want sleeping next to me, when he left to go goodbye, I was like about to kiss him. I didn't even give a fuck, dude. I was like, this is the most crazy thing I've ever felt in my life. And ever
just
since,
felt a love for someone that you would never feel.
no, there was no walls. It was just another human being he's there for his intentions. He just wants the same fucking thing as me. Happiness and experience.
Yes, bro. We talk about that on the podcast all the time. It's what everybody wants.
That's what everyone wants.
It doesn't matter if, like, take all the different bullshit out of our lives, all the bullshit we're focusing on, like skin color and who you want to put your dick in, all that shit. Like, man, I think most people probably are seeking the same shit.
Yeah, and they think that it's another human doing it.
Yeah.
Humans all want love and compassion and nature and experiences. Other things don't want that. Whatever those other things are, they're keeping us down. And the only way I see to fight back is to learn how to raise our vibration collectively. And
I wonder if part of our mission is, because dude, we're already building the army,
Mhm.
but we're building an army of people from a standpoint of physical toughness.
Yep.
Right? And mental toughness too. It takes both.
Yep.
But maybe we start incorporating more of like, dude, once you're a vetted team member, now we do start sharing spiritual journeys together.
100%.
Are you talking about, I stepped away to pee. Are we talking about the gym?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm saying like, and maybe like the physical side of it is like a vetting process.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, if you can hack it here for a year, now you get invited to go out in the woods and touch the universe together.
Yep.
Well, bro, not to change directions of the conversation, but I really think the future of what we're doing with our property out there in Granite Falls is more the male warrior spirit energy rather than just straight up shooting class. And that's where I want to direction Training Northwest is. Shooting will still be part of it, but really more importantly is fostering warrior spirit in people.
Well, bro, in fostering warrior spirit, not even necessarily male energy, because we got
we have savage females too.
like what's it, Courtney?
Yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. We're gonna be interviewing her in a couple hours.
You're gonna be interviewing her in a couple hours?
Yeah, for the Enlightened Neanderthals podcast.
Tonight?
Tonight.
Are you going back to the gym to do it?
Yes.
Oh, fuck yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna
Nice.
come out and say hi to her then.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like in the second, and it was funny too, because as soon as I saw her, and obviously she's nice and cute, had good vibrations, good energy, but I
As
knew
soon as we saw her shoot.
not only that, Bo, but when she was standing there,
Oh, because so here's how that
It's
started.
like-
I was telling Jordan this morning.
she's
at
on my
breakfast.
team.
Well,
Whatever she is, she's
Yep.
on my team.
This was the day Glover taught his class out at our range. And so Greg and I got out there early to set up the target stands, and we got a fire going because it was cold, miserable weather. And as people are showing up, they're walking in with their equipment and whatnot. And people, it's kind of unclear, people are sort of milling around. And you and I and Mike and Casey were standing over by the fire. And so some people were more social and walked over to say hello. But a lot of people were kind of staying back, almost like, it was almost like Army scenario where it's like the instructors are over by the fire, like, don't go bother them. The class hasn't started yet. But she just walked up and like sort of like shouldered her way up in between, I think you and I, or maybe me and Casey, and just sort of was like, good morning.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously she does not have a fear-driven personality.
Yeah. And she's fucking badass.
Yeah.
And that's what Mike said at the end. She goes, out of everybody here, this isn't a male female thing. This is just out of everybody here, she's top shooter, man. She
was.
That's fucking badass,
Yeah,
bro.
that's really good.
And, but you hit on something, or I guess we went a different direction, but talking about warrior spirit, because that came up on our podcast, talking with Jordan, is that there's a lot of guys age, say 30 to, I don't know, 60 who have like FOMO because they didn't join the military, and they're like, man, it's always something I wish I had done. And I kind of envious of you guys for that experience. And the reality is what they are having that FOMO over is that chance to develop their warrior spirit. It's not about getting to go sweat their ass off and not shower for fucking
No, you're
3
right.
weeks. And that they think they missed out on an experience of building their warrior spirit and learning to be a warrior. But the United States Army does not build a warrior spirit. They focus on technical expertise and making you an efficient equipment operator, just like a guy who runs a backhoe on a construction site. If you're an infantryman, you're expected to be efficient at running an M240 Bravo machine gun and a PRC 117 Fox radio and a GPS and know how to use a map. They focus on technical expertise of the equipment,
Procedure
of your MOS. And that most people end up leaving the Army as bitter alcoholics, not as warriors.
Yeah.
And the one thing the Army really misses
They don't
out on
love themselves.
is they do not develop the warrior spirit of the people in the military. And so what I want to do with Training Northwest, and through, Electric North will be a huge part of that, and what we're doing out at the river, is I really want to I want to develop warrior spirits.
Yes, bro.
And
let's take this
we're going
to
take
the
this,
absolute top and be the
we're not
heaviest
a shooting school.
hitters,
We're not just
heaviest hitters in the entire industry.
Yes.
Because it goes back to what we said in part 1. Success isn't found in how much money you're making. Success will be found in
community we
enriching
create.
people's lives, dude.
Yes.
And
if
bro,
we can foster
it's
a
gonna
bunch
happen.
of motherfuckers
It's
and
gonna
help
happen.
them bring that spirit out, like think about like you're talking about, you came up on your knees and the wardrobe was building. Dude, that was the first night that I was in ceremony, because the ceremony I went to was all alpha. It was all veterans, all alpha males. And so I'm sure the shaman could feel the energy in the room.
Yeah.
And so same thing. He turned on like war drum music and everybody was like, I remember sitting up and like, I felt like I could reach, like I was looking upwards and I was like, I am as tall as the fucking sky right now. And I am as strong as the trees. You know what I mean? And like the war, boom, 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 boom. And I pulled off my mask and I looked around and everybody was like, fucking Dave was like shooting arrows. And like, like imagine, you know what I mean? Dudes were like, getting down.
Right,
and I told Jordan at breakfast this morning, I was like, had some bitch boy just accidentally, like pizza delivery guy, walked in the front door right then, we probably would have tore his throat out.
Or maybe it'd have been the best thing that ever happened to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But energy knows energy, right? And so if someone had walked
real.
in with that weaker energy, like I really think they would have been killed. Whereas,
well, bro, I'll tell you too, there's a part of me that's like, because I literally said, like, what do I do with the monster inside of me? I don't want the monster to come out in ceremony. Because and I'm not saying this to toot my own horn, but I'm fucking dangerous.
Yeah, but when
we're all dangerous, dude.
She takes.
You're gonna be so dizzy, and
bro,
trust me, you won't be able to get
so much stronger than you. She'll probably just pin you down. You're not fucking mad.
Good.
You think you're gonna fight somebody?
No, it's not that I want to fight someone. No. I just think about like.
I thought about the same thing, and it was
because like, dude. A normal man, this sounds so arrogant, right?
Yeah.
But there's probably 10,000 fucking male Starbucks employees in Washington State right now. And 100% of them die inside of 20 seconds in a fight with one of us.
90% of Starbucks employees, I could dislocate their shoulder by arm dragging them.
That's what I'm saying, right? And so it's like, there's a part of it's like, okay, you want to find the monster, but don't unleash the monster. But I guess, like you said, you're not in control. So it's just.
And the thing is, she's so much more, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, she's not in this realm.
When it's time for you to purge, you will crawl on your hands and knees and you will not walk.
Roger that.
No,
dude. No. I think we have the ability to create an experience of developing inner strength and power that has never been done before.
I don't.
And there's a lot of those. There's a lot of those like male development programs. Like there's like one called Sacred Sons.
But it's all about
different
going out.
ones.
Like, you have to like. It sucks to say it, but to bring out that male energy, or it doesn't suck to say it, we have to incorporate a little bit of violence.
No, they do. Like some of these do these things.
Oh,
they like, dude, you have to fight each other and you have to do these different things. But I think there's a way to do it differently, just based on who we are. And again, it's like I don't bring them up by name to say anything negative about them. It's the same thing as when people are like, dude, what do you think of sheepdog? What do you think of fieldcraft? It's like, I think that there's fucking room at the top for everybody.
Yeah.
And if there's one program out there, then that's not going to serve the needs of everybody.
Yeah.
But we could do something
with our flavor.
We could do something with our flavor that when people leave, they'll be like, fucking whoa. And bro, you know what? Maybe we do end with a fucking like bonfire mushroom ceremony.
Maybe.
Or something. You know what I mean? Like
everyone gets to pick a crystal. I'll
incorporate fucking like all
spiritual.
the different things, the
spiritual warrior spirit requires some spiritual center. Right?
Absolutely.
Some crazy fucking saunas, some sit in the fucking freezing. Because that fucking
we have a river and a sauna, and we'll build a fucking combatives pit where people can do jujitsu and fucking wood chips like we did in school.
Here's the thing: is if you don't have the spirit, this is my opinion. If you don't have the spiritual aspect of it, you just create a Terminator. Sure, that they can they can protect, they can do all these things, but if you don't learn about the warrior spirit, you can be using your powers that you've harnessed unjustly without you even fucking knowing, because you're not in tune with your spirit, you're not in tune with your soul. We are all capable of massive violence on a level that most people just can't even comprehend. However, we are not doing that. Because we have the right
Jordan
spirit.
Peterson says, like,
be capable,
be a dangerous man that can control it. Otherwise, you're not dangerous. You're incapable.
Yeah, no one wants to hang out with you, and women don't feel comfortable around you, and kids don't like you, and animals don't like you.
Because he said that, everybody hates Jordan Peterson now.
People are so whack.
But it makes me like think about like just in the last week since this last shooting, like all the trans people posing with guns, like it's
Oh,
trans
bro.
vengeance or whatever. And it's
Bro,
like, you guys,
you saw that fucking picture I sent you
Yes.
guys, right?
they
And
don't. It's amazing to me. I guess it isn't amazing because we live in this gentle, safe society in the United States. But man, people like that have no idea the capacity for violence that people
Bro,
like
Bro,
that we have. Like I can't
I'm gonna
get
read
my
this.
mind around it.
I can't either.
And what do
Sea
they
sparrow.
think? Do they think that just by pointing the rifle in the general, like, well, I know how to aim this rifle, I know how to shoot, but there's so much more to fighting than
Bro, it's-
standing on a flat range and shooting a target.
Bro, it'd be like if you gave me one of your forging hammers and said, bro, make a knife.
Yeah.
I got the tool now. So am I a knife maker? That's what people think with fucking rifles, you know?
It's
And like this guy, I sent this text out to you
I've
guys.
seen that.
He's
dude.
this his name's Sea Sparrow, MER2 ski team on Twitter. And he's 60. He's skinny fat. He has hair that looks like Dimebag Darrell's, which is an insult to Dimebag. And he says, I'm to the point that if it takes a civil war to get the guns out of the Republican hands and end the NRA once and for all, sign me up, put me on the front lines. We cannot sit by anymore. I'm ready and willing to go. And it's like,
You will quickly.
well, first of all, like, what a dum-dum to be like, oh, the
Why
Republican.
is he posing with his shirt off?
the Republicans, like, bro, you're thinking small, right?
Yeah.
Like, shut the fuck up. You're going to try and take the guns out of someone like my hands. And I'm going to wear your face for our next raid into your village.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
Like-
swear though that some of that is just to get you from just being happy how you just were
To
back
feel,
to a-
yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it's
But-
not even a real person.
But check
Not
it out.
exactly.
Though. Check it
Like-
out though. The other side of it is like wearing his face isn't negative vibrations for
No,
me.
it's not. no, it isn't.
That fucking war. I'll skin that motherfucker.
Absolutely.
And be him for Halloween, bro.
For sure. And as would I. As would I.
What are you for Halloween? Skinny fat?
Fucking no kidding. No kidding. Because I look at it and I think the same thing. Like, do these people have any comprehension of like the people that they're trying to target is people like us?
Yeah.
Who essentially, I have like 2 rules to go by: do no harm, and whatever weird shit that you know isn't really supposed to be happening, keep it to yourself. Other than that, I don't really give a shit.
But bro, check this out. To support what you were just saying, there was a tweet going around that everyone was screenshotting. You guys might have seen it. And it said like, sure, the school shooter may have killed may have taken the lives of several children, but you guys are misgendering her. And that makes matters worse.
The fuck cares?
Well,
fuck
no,
that
but
thing.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Someone fucking in the comments said, hey, if you look at the origin of that post, it was AI generated.
Oh shit!
And it's
Ah,
like,
okay.
damn,
It's the
dude.
bot trying to stir the
Stir the fucking pot,
Because
dude.
that keeps the loosh harvesting. Because people like
Yeah.
us are having podcasts, literally casting white spells on the black magic that's been put across the board.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
what it is.
And
And
so-
they hate that.
And but bro, it's like, again, it's a fine line. It's like fucking walking on a tightrope, because on one side of it, it's like you're falling into their plan. But on the other side of it, you're just a bitch that's going along and doing what you're told, right? And so it's like, fuck, always trying to walk that line. Like, I don't want to be fucking triggered and mad all the time.
Yep.
But at the same time, I have to be ready and willing to behead motherfuckers with my axe.
So
right?
this is the-
so where's that fine line?
I think it's this. This is something that I seen yesterday from a post from someone. And it was all the transgender, all the fucking weird things that are going on, all people's mental illness problems isn't stemming from anything other than no one has a mission and purpose anymore.
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
And so when I look at this, is like, that's your mission and purpose. You felt it since you were a little boy. You were a warrior sent here for something. It hasn't happened yet. It's starting to drive you nuts.
It's going to.
Right? It's probably going to. And all the other people, like, they just don't have any. People need to find their mission and purpose again. I really think that is what stems from all of this stuff. What was it that you were talking right before that got me on this subject?
Warrior spirit.
Well, no, it was what Greg was saying.
No, it was about fucking like us focusing on bullshit like that.
Oh, yes.
And that guy, you know, like wearing his face and
The AI shit and all this stuff is like not being too consumed. Because I'm someone who I know about a lot of this stuff.
You have to know what your enemy is doing. That's surveillance.
100%. And it's like, okay, but what is your mission? Well, my mission is to fucking spread love and light, I think, to the world. Okay. Greg's mission's clearly to be a fucking warrior for whenever the war comes. That's what his inner.
Well, that's also a great question for Mother Aya. Greg, if you can hear me in the bathroom.
Exactly.
Well, ask that. Maybe the question for Mother Aya is, what is the mission? What is this monster for? Does it serve a purpose?
Mm-hmm.
And you might get some wild fucking answers.
Yeah. and I think that now I can only say for myself, but since I've learned that I have a mission and purpose bigger than just getting old and raising a family, it's bigger than that. It's what I said, bringing light and love to the world and restoring balance into nature. That's what feels and resonates most with my fucking heart. Now, when I look at all this shit that I used to always look at, like I can't even open one of those books hardly and read it anymore. I just fucking put it down and I go, look, I know what's going on. You have these evil fucking things that want to keep me in a low vibrational state. Sure, they have different tactics and different plans. It's pretty much the same false flags that they just do over and over and over again. Yeah. How is that affecting my mission and my purpose that I chose to come here to do? Is it benefiting my mission or is it not? Up to a point, yes, I had to, because that's what allowed me to get on this mission. But now it no longer is serving me to be consumed at it really at all. Period. I understand they're doing fucked up shit. I understand.
You dedicated enough time to inform yourself.
I get what's going on.
Now it's time for the action.
That's it. I don't give a fuck what they're doing because I'm on my own mission to fix that. For you, when you you find out some information, when you're on the mission, it's so much harder for them to distract you with other things, because it's very easy to be like, you just know where to go. It's like you have the inner compass that just, you know where to go.
And I want to add to that because, as like Tyler said, we've all kind of been on personal missions the last couple of years. But again, like where I think we should go out there at the property is now it's time to start thinking bigger than just us.
Yes.
And it's time to start thinking about our immediate community. Mm-hmm. And what is our mission to our immediate community? How do we start affecting people? Like, how do we start expanding our circle to where we can start increasing other people's sort of quality of life around us, or sort of the quality of their experience of life? And if it does all go to shit, like if the dollar does actually collapse, how do we because then that becomes our strong circle that we can all, humans require interdependence. Mm-hmm. So it's not like we're all just going to go into individual survival mode and make it. We're not. We need to have strong community, and we need to create, like, I would like to see us sort of create a model for how you create a strong community that can be shared. You know, like right here we are, we're talking into a microphone. We can share this around the world. How do we, I should say, I'm not saying how as in I want answers right now, but like I think that's where we should be going. That's the next mission.
Yes. Yes. So bro, I think, this is a good segue to talk about kind of the last topic that I want to talk about. And then we're already coming up on time, bro. We burned through a lot of fucking time today. We could
go all day.
Yeah. When I was in Glover's basement like 3 weeks ago or whatever, he told me, and again, I talked about this last episode. This is why it's good to hang out with people that motivate you to do things in this world. Because I've wanted to write a book for fucking years. Mm-hmm. And I have a million reasons why I don't write a book. Well, because I'm busy, because of this, because of that, because of this. And I was sitting there talking to him. He goes, yeah, my second book comes out on blah, blah, blah. It's like, your second book? Where's your first book? He goes, oh, it's done. It's dropping on June 4th. And I was like, fuck, man. And I looked right at him. I said, bro, I was supposed to be here to hear that, because I've wanted to do this for a long time, and I put it off. And I give myself a million excuses. Meanwhile, you're one of the busiest motherfuckers I know, and you didn't do one book. You've already done 2. And he goes, bro, you writing your story is not something you should do. It's something you're obligated to do. He goes, because there's people out there that'll benefit from receiving it. And he goes, so like you might not think of your story as this like super impactful thing. He goes, but me knowing you and understanding like a lot of things that you did through the military, through law enforcement, like,
but I have the same, like I couldn't write. I don't think I'm interesting enough to fill more than 3
well, that's what he
pages.
said to me. He says, bullshit. He's like, bro, you've been a fucking special operations soldier. You've been a contractor. You have a family. You became a black belt. Like, dude, we have stories to share.
Yeah.
And dude, history is told by the people that share those stories.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's the name
And
of the
so
book,
like,
his story.
it's just like with this podcast, I started my podcast.
Yeah.
Then you start one.
Yeah.
Now you have one. And it's like, man, everybody that believes they have a story to share needs to go out there and share it. And I don't care if you get 1 million downloads or if you get 10, put it out there because the right person might receive it.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of so when I left Glover's house, I was like, okay, page a day. I can write a page a day.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And if I do that for 365 days, I have a book.
Yep.
Yeah.
And bro,
It's legit.
I have 10,000 words done already.
Good.
And it's like, and bro, I sit there and I'm writing. And what I found is, dude, it's like therapy.
Yeah.
It brings you back to all your patrols and Barry Cout and Ranger School and all the lessons we learned in our early 20s and the wars kicking off. And it's like, man, there is a lot in there that you don't even fucking remember
Yep.
until you start reliving it. And then it's
are
like,
you writing it like a journal, almost like trying to recount stories, or are you?
so this is, and I read page 1 on last week's episode, so I won't bore you guys and read it again, but it's called Courage Through Adversity. And it's exactly that. It's building yourself into a stronger version of yourself by facing hardship. And that hardship can be fucking self-imposed, or sometimes the universe imposes that hardship on you.
Yep.
The people that are in fucking Africa living in the Sudan don't have to have self-imposed adversity to grow into strong people.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-part book. And I say, like, the first part of the book is my path. This is my life. Because you have to, for me to tell you about fucking developing courage through adversity, you got to get to know me a little bit.
Yep.
And then part 2 is going to be literally, how do we get courage as a collective?
Yeah.
How do we all stand up together? How do we all become tough? How do we all become strong? Because, dude, it's not my responsibility. It's not your responsibility. It's collective.
Yep.
We all have to be willing to do it. Andy fucking Frisella talks about it all the time. It's like personal excellence is every single last one of us responsibility. And if anyone drops the ball, then we're all going to be a diminished version of ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
But if everybody can get on board that and be like, dude, if I'm better tomorrow than I was today, then we become unstoppable.
Yeah.
It's
And
a
you know
simple
what?
formula, bro.
Yeah.
I'll even take it back to the power of intention and the quantum mechanics of that. Because when you said I've already got whatever 10,000 words written, I was like, oh, you're going to be a New York Times bestseller. And then as I had that thought,
Did
I
you
was
look
like,
over?
no, I felt confident. I was like, oh, I feel confident about that thought. It'll happen.
Yeah.
It's already done. It's already done.
Look at my vision
Cat's
board. Look
alive
at
in
my
the
vision
box.
board. Middle right.
New York. Oh, fucking A. There it
Said
is.
if I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a book.
I had not read that.
If I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a book that fucking changes people's lives.
So what was that
Period.
that just happened? What I just talked about? What was what was that?
No. He talked about his plans. I had a thought that this motherfucker is going to be a New York Times bestseller.
Uh-huh.
And then it not only did I put the thought out, but it came right back to me with extreme confidence.
And it's
And
over
now,
there.
now it's on his vision board,
So
which I
is
didn't
that
know.
just a coincidence?
That's what I'm saying, bro. This shit's awesome. And so I want people out there, like, this isn't just a bunch of I haven't been high in a month, dude. This isn't fucking stoner talk. This isn't woo-woo. This isn't bullshit. When you start to believe in what you're doing in life, everything starts to come together.
Yeah.
And bro, like you can take little snapshots. You can look at just from a monetary perspective, right? I was making 100 grand as a cop. I make 300 grand as a coach
There you go.
and a podcaster.
Yeah.
What?
And what kind,
You know what I mean? And I like to throw numbers out there again, not to fucking be like, oh, look at this. It's like hard numbers give people confidence.
Yeah.
Like if you think 100 grand is a lot,
No.
working your fucking fingers to the bone on patrol every day, you know what else you can do? You can go do something you love and make 3 times that because I fucking did it, dude.
And here's the thing. If the system crumbles and all that money goes away, he'll still feel good.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Well, here's some of the thing for me. I just lost my job in the union, right?
Yeah.
I've spent my entire career learning how to do what I know how to do. And then I get laid off. And the thing is I've been laid off many times and I've thought about doing my own thing. But this time, not only did I get laid off, it's just done.
It's done. You know it's done.
Well, not only I know it's done, they told me it's done. Me and other people, all the Amazon, Microsoft, Expedia, all the buildings are being shut down. They're not working on them. There's no fucking work. And so most of the time in my life, I would be freaking the fuck out. I have a lot of responsibilities that fall underneath my shoulders. But after just like learning all of this stuff, even as scary as it is, I trust wholeheartedly that if you do what your heart or like what you know inside you're supposed to do, which at this point in my life, I do. And I know that not everyone knows what they're doing here, what their mission is, or I didn't for a long time, but now I know. And it's like, I fully trust that if I do that, more doors will open up that weren't allowed to be open before. Because you can't have 1 foot in one door and 1 foot in the other and think that you're going to go into the doorway.
Well, bro, and I'm glad you brought that up because I didn't want to just bring up the monetary aspect of success, right? Like that's one thing that's starting to work out for us, right? But the biggest thing is, well, there's two other things that are like, it's like I'm pouring gas on a fire. It's all the value of people that are members of our gym.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We have 200 members now, bro. And every single one of them is like
198 savages.
Fuck yes, dude. Who are the two pussies? But then, bro, then the next thing is like the more I invest into this stuff, the more strange connections just happen.
Yeah.
Right?
Or were they always happening and you just didn't notice?
I wasn't seizing the moment.
I don't know. I don't know.
And it's like, dude, all these people, and it doesn't matter if they're rich or they're famous or they have this many followers. What they are is they're people that add value to my life. And I have people that I would consider friends that I feel like I have relationships with, that I feel would have my back if I needed it. Like all over the fucking world now.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of what I've been hitting on too. Like if it comes to the point where the FBI or the IRS wants to come fight, I'll never tell anybody they have to come get involved, but I have a feeling a lot of people will show up.
Well, bro, let me tell you this too.
And at that point,
yeah,
you better. Then Joe Biden is going to need his F-15s.
Pack a lunch, motherfucker.
Yeah,
like when I was overtly staying open, and I remember, and I don't know if you were at that practice or not. When I was, I told everybody, I said, listen, like I'm defying the fucking state of Washington right now, and I told them that if they want to shut me down, there's only one way, and it's to take me out of here in handcuffs. And I don't think that anybody is capable of doing that to me around here. And so if that day comes, I don't expect any one of you guys to fucking fall on your sword for me. So like if the fucking SWAT team surrounds the building and you take your gis off and you walk downstairs and you get in your car, I still love you and you're still my friend. Like you don't have to die for me, but I've already made my choice. And bro, how many people were like, fuck that, dude?
Yeah, well, everyone.
No one's taking Greg out of here in cuffs.
Everyone.
You know what I'm saying?
No, this is our fucking tribe.
This is our family,
That's the
dude.
warrior spirit. You know? You got to take every one of those warriors out. And there, in my opinion, when that place is full, 40 fucking dudes, there isn't, I don't know how they would do it.
Imagine 5 Snohomish County deputies walking in and be like, okay, you guys, we're taking Greg out of here.
Yeah. It's like, nah, dude, not a chance.
No, you are not.
It's like 6 of the dudes on the mats are probably fucking deputies themselves, you know?
Yeah.
They probably know, like, dude, out of all the places, just leave Electric North alone.
Well, and I've even heard that through the grapevine.
I'm sure
that it's like, hey, like not only like it's, and I don't even say that from an egotistical place. Like we're afraid of Greg. It's like Greg's on our team.
Yes.
You know
and
what
that's
I'm
what I keep saying is we are on the side of all the people who like, even the people who don't like us, who live in our neighborhoods. We're still on their side because we just want a good society to live in.
Because they think that we are the enemy.
And bro, like,
but we're not the enemy.
Here's the thing. Like, if you allow them to push you and bully you, like bullies look for the fucking soft target. They don't look for the hard target.
Hell no.
Right? No one's fucking with me anymore. Yeah. L&I isn't poking their nose.
That's why it's important for us to focus on building warrior spirit within the men and women in our communities. Because when you have that inner warrior that's ready to fight, then you can't be pushed around. You aren't ruled by fear. So many people are just fucking ruled by fear now.
And that's what
COVID was. That's what the IRS taxes you through fear.
Yes.
That's why we have to support the people that are standing up to fear.
Yep.
Yes.
You know, and be in their corner. Like, and we can wrap it up after this because I see you guys looking at your phone. It might be time to get going.
Oh.
But we got there's a little fucking store up the fucking street called Spoon and Straw, and it's a girl that makes acai bowls.
Okay.
You know what those are?
Yeah.
Dude,
I've never eaten one, but
they're fucking. It's fruit blended up and berries, and they put some granola in it. And she's a single mom of 4. And bro, I'm gonna have her on the podcast. I invited her, and she's awesome. And I fucking walked up and tried to open the door. It was 4:05, and it was locked. And I see as closed at 4. My bad. Turn around, walk out to my car. She cracks the door and goes, "Hey, we closed 5 minutes ago, but come on in. I'll fucking we can still take care of you."
Yeah.
Universe shit.
Yep.
Right. And I walk in there and we start talking. Immediately, we're cut from the same cloth because I was wearing a shirt that said "Become Ungovernable," and she goes, "I love that shirt." Come to find out, L&I is bullying the fuck out of her.
oh really?
Really?
Because she didn't require her employees to have masks during COVID. Here we are a year later, and L&I is going after a single mom of 4 that runs a little fucking fruit stand in Marysville, Washington, trying to tax her and fine her and collect money from her, bro. Wow. And she said there's this little fat fuck named Troy. Hopefully you know who the fuck you are, who works for L&I, that waddles in there with his belly and it's like, "I need to speak with your employees because you've been continuously violating labor and industry protocol." I said, "Tell Troy to come in here at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning when I'm getting my bowl. And I'll tell that motherfucker, you have one option, and it's to get the fuck out of here now."
Yeah.
That's it. Like, when are we going to stand up? A single mom of 4 running a business, and your fat, weak little fucking ass is going to go bully her?
Here's why they go after small business is because they are fat, weak little bitches.
That's exactly right.
Low hanging fruit.
No, that's right. I told her. I said, "Tell Troy,
It's coward shit.
Tell Troy I violated all the same shit. Next time he's in here, give him my fucking card and tell that motherfucker to show up to my gym." Like, and that could be the last day I'm on planet Earth.
But you know what?
And
That is going to.
so fucking be it.
It will also
dude.
be Troy's last
But
day.
I also look at it. I
I'll
look
wear
at it
Troy's fucking face while I fucking go out with the SWAT team raid.
the thing is that to me, that's how it's supposed to be.
100%.
It's supposed to be.
That's the check and balance right
Yeah,
there.
the woman at the grocery or at the fucking food store that she's selling us feels confident in the men in her community and know that the men protect the fucking community. So whether it was you or the next guy or me, we all do the same thing. No little fat fuck is going in and messing with anyone, regardless if I know the woman's name or not.
Yeah.
She's a part of my fucking community, and what you're doing is wrong. I don't need a sheriff to come and do it. I don't need a fucking president to come and do it. I'm man
here right now
in
motherfucker.
my community as the warrior that we all are. And I'll take care of it myself. And if I can't, I will call my other warriors who live in my fucking community. And if you do bad enough, I'll get the whole fucking tribe and you'll die.
And Troy, my
Right?
tribe is tougher than yours.
100%. We train.
Troy. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah,
You're
sorry,
not gonna
Troy.
make it.
Fucking fat motherfucker. And again, like, dude, I'm going to have her on. I want her to tell her story firsthand. Doc's Tavern is another one that they sold alcohol when they were told not to. And it's like, dude, man, and you want to know what's fucked up is these fucking people that are fucking trying to say, like, you disobeyed a year ago.
Well, hang on. Can we say the name of her business? Because I think
Spoon and Straw on 3rd Street in Marysville, Washington.
Right,
Go
so, hey,
there and
locals,
spend your fucking
some
money,
fucking
dude. Because she's a fucking patriot, dude. And not only is she a patriot, her ingredients are the cleanest and healthiest I've ever seen. No added sugar. None of her fucking smoothies have like fucking blends of bullshit.
Yeah.
So it's like, not only are you supporting good people, but you're also putting good shit into your body.
She's serving you.
Yeah, exactly.
She's serving you community of good fucking health and food.
Yep.
Like,
And so,
what a concept.
and fucking, and like, cause another friend of ours, I'm not going to say his name on the air cause he's still battling this legally, but he went to court over his fucking business being open. And they said, "Hey, listen, we're not disputing the validity of what we said being right or wrong. That's a foregone conclusion. We don't care about if the masks work. We don't care about the vaccine status of your employees. It's the fact we told you had to shut down and you told us no."
Yeah.
That's their fucking ground that they're fucking standing on. Off with your motherfucking heads, dude.
That's it. And you know what? I see that. Like, I can zoom out from that and I see this. Someone who was being very successful, living a very good, happy vibrational life. And then the fucking reptilians come and immediately just go.
And let's be clear, his business is healing people and making people feel better.
Yes.
You know?
And you know what?
Shut that down.
Yep. And then you know what? Now you have someone who is very happy and all these different things, great positive high vibration emotions and emitting frequencies, who now has to deal with stress and worry and cortisol and anxiety and judges and attorneys and all this different stuff that I don't give a fuck what human you are and how mentally tough you are.
It breaks you, dude.
It breaks you.
I was just going to say, even if they end up, like you end up acquitted in the courts and no fines, the fact that they drag you through all that when you're already maxed out on, you know, if you have a family and you're trying to run a business, you have no time. All your time and energy is spoken for. So now they're just adding this one more massive stressor into your life. And that's the true game, is they're just going to break you that way.
Yeah.
And that you just can't,
and bro, you
run
want
out of bandwidth.
You want to know the most fucked up thing about it? They're using our money to fight against us.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Think about that,
Yeah.
bro.
I know, dude.
Like our own money, they steal it and then they allocate it to fucking crush you.
Yep.
Imagine if everyone in America said, I'm done paying taxes.
Dude, we're done. I've been done.
It would be that the government would end tomorrow.
But I also don't have anything, like I have a house and it's like, that's
we
the
all,
only
well,
thing.
we all,
So-
somehow we all want society to be functional. And so we all have stake in this society in which we're raising our kids and our families. And we want to live with, like, I don't want the grocery store to go away. It's really fucking nice to live with
Or
modern
like you
convenience.
said in the previous episode, I want my poop to go down when I flush. the
Yeah,
toilet.
exactly.
These
I like
amenities are nice.
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But they're also not deal breakers, because I can go set a toilet up above our river and fucking make a gravity fed bidet to wash my ass.
Comes Everett's problem.
I don't like, I don't want it to be that way, but I don't need it to be your way either. A lot of people are stuck and they think it needs to be the system that's in place right now. A new system comes with a whole bunch of fucking new beginnings. And that should excite you.
And whether it's good or bad, I've said this to my grandma. I said, Grandma, the empires have always risen and fallen, always. So when the Roman Empire falls, or the Spartans, or the fucking Vikings, or the Incas, whoever it is that falls, it's not that life doesn't exist after that. It's not that there's no more poetry or books or theater or creation or inventions. It just transitions into a new way.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to make sure, because the evil people that be have a say in this as well. It's a war, right? You say it all the time in jiu-jitsu. We practice perfect, but when you're in the real thing, the other person has a say how it's going to go too.
Yeah.
So we understand that, like, as we get into the spiritual war, we just do the best that we fucking can and try and, I don't know, what was it that I was saying?
Well, I think that I'll just add to it and say that most importantly now, because we all have leadership qualities.
Mm-hmm.
Like we hit on earlier, it's time for us to start
empowering those around us.
Yeah, that's pretty much
we've
it.
We've been
It's
focused internally on ourselves. It's time to start focusing outwards on raising community around us.
And that's where the magic happens, bro.
That's it. I think that's it. And then we need to get the spiritual part, like you said, into this.
Yep.
Because if you don't have a spirit, you don't have something to fucking stand firm on.
Yeah.
Like,
Bro, I'm telling you, Guns and Geese program.
Just raising warrior spirits.
Yeah.
We're fucking
is if we can do that to a small number of people in our surrounding communities, that goes a long, long way.
Bro, we fucking our program's based around shooting and grappling, and
Mhm.
people's favorite aspect of it is sitting around a bonfire and telling stories.
Yeah.
That's where the
connection.
magic happens, and that's where we need to nurture it.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
we're at the 2-hour mark. Can I plug Training Northwest?
Plug
for a
it, and then plug it, and then I know you got another podcast. To
Yeah,
do.
I know. So we
3.5
gotta go.
hours here, and you're gonna go do yours.
Yeah.
Plug Training Northwest, and plug your new podcast, and then we'll fucking wrap this up.
Actually, I'll go podcast first. So we've started the Enlightened Neanderthals podcast. It's on Spotify and Apple and some of the other little ones that all kind of filter down that way.
I'll link it in the show notes below as well.
Perfect. And it's myself and Mike Kozak and Jordan Creek, a couple other savage buddies from Greg's Electric North Jiu-Jitsu Gym. And it's a little more lighthearted. We have a pretty good time, but we get into a lot of philosophy and some history, and we drink a lot more than Greg does.
So they're way cooler than me. I mean, Kozak is the coolest guy alive.
That's
So
right.
Dude.
And then my company, Training Northwest, we've got a full calendar of firearms classes out here in Washington State. You can find us at trainingnorthwestllc.com. Most notably, in August, we'll have a 3-day rifleman camp where we're going to try to immerse you guys in like a feed you with a fire hose, sort of immerse you in infantryman type living and skill sets. And coming in, I think it'll probably be in 2024, just what Greg and I talked about, where we try to dive a little more into the warrior spirit side of it and really bring people's, like, bring that out of you. Like, it's not enough to just teach you how to operate the mechanical equipment. We also have to work on the spirit side of the warrior. But in the meantime, we also are a dealer of Vortex Optics. And if you want to support our vision, you can buy an optic on the website, again, trainingnorthwestllc.com, or come take one of our classes. And one of the, I will say this, starting a small business, the thing I've really learned is every now and then I'll get online comments about like, oh, the prices are ridiculous. And it's like, man, what do you think 30 acres cost? And what do you think targets cost? And what do you think
spending 10 years inside of area special operations unit honing these skill sets took?
Yeah, exactly. And what I tell people is that, especially with a new business, it's almost like crowdfunding, because every dollar people spend out there, I have never made a dime on any of those classes, because I have to turn around and build infrastructure for the next class, or so that I'm like, oh, I have all these, I have levels 1, 2, 3, but I can keep going. But I need to be able to build structures, and I need to be able to buy more targets, and we need heavy equipment time that we, built the road. My God, renting a bulldozer and an excavator to build the road and build the berm.
But it's all this.
And people think that they're like, oh, you just had 30 acres with a berm and a shooting range and a road on it. No, we didn't. We had to buy it, and we have to build it, and it costs fucking money.
And it also costs time.
Yep.
And
if you believe in our vision, like I said, it's almost like crowdsourcing, where you buy an optic, or you spend your time and your money to come out to a class. Well, you're just funding the next evolution. Like all these programs that we want to build out there, we need time and resources to build those. Otherwise, they'll never exist.
Yep.
So if you believe in us and you believe in our mission, then support us by patronizing our businesses.
Fuck yeah. Nope. Yeah. I think that's a great place to wrap it up. I don't have anything to add to that. Nope. Other than go check Tyler's podcast out too.
Oh, yeah. I have the Compassionate Viking podcast. You can find me on all the different platforms. Now that I don't have a job, I'm going to be doing a lot more on there. I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and I'm going to start videotaping all the different shit that I do. I actually just made new mushrooms yesterday and videotaped it, so that will be one of the first videos up. So if anyone wants to learn how to do it in their house, that's the way.
Tyler's podcast has become one of my favorites to listen to.
It's fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, I get fucking people... It's crazy. I had this dude talking to me from North Thailand one time.
The Herb of the Week. Like, I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday, Herb of the Week.
And most of that shit is like...
it lets you know the shit we sit here and spew into a microphone is going around the fucking globe.
It is. And the reason is because everyone is being like... I call it ascending. It's the awakening. And they are starting to understand that the truth resonates on a different fucking frequency. It just feels different. Yeah. I can say to someone directly in the eyes a lie and the truth, and it could be something that this person has no idea about either or. They don't have any biased opinion. And the truth always sits different.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, people might listen to us and disagree with everything we say and think we're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
But they also know we're authentic.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that's all you can ask for right now.
Oh, and if I'm wrong, then who fucking cares?
That's right, bro.
Right? But if I'm right, or you're right,
it might fucking benefit your life.
100%.
To put a little effort into
if
some of this shit.
If nothing else, think positively. And if it doesn't manifest, at least you've changed your mindset.
That's it.
Boom.